Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Phil said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope!
I'm putting my heart, dog. Let's go, man.
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! On three! 1, 2, 3! Turn that back, your
Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Good morning. How you doing today? I got to just say it at the start. I'm feeling just a little bit saucier today than other days. I don't know what it is.
Saucy.
A little bit saucy. That's right, my friend. I don't know. Had a great Valentine's Day last night. The steaks were perfect. The martinis were ice cold. I think it's more, I put some whipped cream on my Cheerios today, so I'm feeling I'm feeling sweet. I'm feeling fluffy. I'm feeling better than usual. I don't know. Can't quite put my finger on it. Maybe it's because it's a game day. Is that
game
legit?
Day? I think you might be on to something, Phil. Game day. We got all our bullets back, man. It's going to be a good one down there in College Station tonight. Late game day, too. Yeah.
That's right. Well, get used to it because there's 6 games left. 3 of them are 8 o'clock tip-offs. We don't have to travel like the team does tonight. So it is going to – oh, man, depending on where it is they land. You're going to – I know there's some nasty weather that be coming through portions of the state later tonight.
Oh, this
so
evening,
who knows?
yeah.
Yeah, may end up being a little bit very windy, not a little bit windy. So the travel coming back from College Station, man, I really hope it's a happy flight because there's nothing that sucks more than losing a road game and then dealing with travel delays on the way back. You know, the Aggies had to do that when they left Bud Walton Arena. Heck, it was tough for them to even get to Fayetteville for the first game between these two programs. And then they couldn't even fly into College Station. They had to fly into Houston and bust the hour to College Station, all with long faces. So I hope that doesn't happen tonight. I'd like Muss and Chuck and the team and everybody on the flight to have a happy flight back because it might be delayed for a little bit.
Phil, there's nothing like it. You talk about feeling a little saucy. There is nothing like a celebrated locker room and a celebrated plane ride back home. Man, that's one of the best feelings in the world. You put it up there and you. It's one of those things. And whatever age you are, eventually you have to stop competing. You don't get to go into somebody's house and whoop them. So you got to enjoy it, man. You go in somewhere and just kind of whoop them, man. It's plane ride home will be a lot better when you win.
There's you love winning no matter where it is it happens. And when you're playing well at home and you win a game at home, you know, it's
more relief, though. You know, like when you're supposed to win at home.
You feel the pressure of playing at home?
It's more relief because you're supposed to win at home, man. It's like protect this house. It's like when you set up your goals and stuff for even football and basketball, it's like win your home games. Like that's a thing. It's not you can go 8-2 in your home games. It's like we win all of our – like we would have – Coach Nutt would say win your non-conference games. Every single non-conference game, whoever it is, that's one of our goals. And, of course, you got to win I think Coach Nutt lost like one game his entire career in Little Rock. Now, not in Fayetteville, but just defending his home turf. It means something. So it is a little more relief when you win at home.
I guess in basketball it's more referred to as holding serve, making sure you win your home games. Mm-hmm. For this year's team, I think that's legit because your toughest opponents you're going on the road against, Alabama, Tennessee, and the like. But, you play well at home. Sure, you might feel relief or anything, but when that crowd at Bud Walton Arena
it's
and
the
at Razorback
atmosphere,
Stadium and at Baum starts
it's
yelling
electric.
And shouting and calling the Hogs and everything, that'll gin the team up and get them fired up. And, I'm not quite sure. Does the locker room feel differently for a home game or a road game? Because when you're on the road and you're playing really well, they're quiet. or you hear grumbling, or you hear boos.
The way
and that's going to get you fired up even in a different way, right?
Well, the atmosphere, you're exactly right. And the way the Arkansas fans travel, it's pretty cool to hear the Hogs call the fans do the hog call on the road.
It's the flight back. It's kind of what you're saying. You hear a lot of coaches talk about the galvanizing force of playing well on the road, and it is that little bit of that us against the world sort of a feeling. And man, I mean, the flight back home after a road series loss in baseball or a road loss in basketball, it can get kind of quiet. And judging that Arkansas beat A&M the first time around.
Just the other day, too. Wasn't that long? It's going to be fresh in their mind.
And that was without Nick Smith, I mean, so A&M can say, well, we had all these travel problems. We didn't get into town until the day of the game. And, to wake up at 8 in the morning and bus to Bud Walton 2 hours away and all of that. So, I mean, they had their excuse. And I don't know if they wanted to use it as an excuse, but they did say post-game that they weren't quite right for the first 12 minutes of the game. Well, Arkansas didn't have Nick Smith for that ball game, and they do today. So, all things being equal, now we're on even footing as far as that's concerned. 8 o'clock tonight, we'll have it going at 7:30 with the Learfield pregame show. Did you see, Matt Jones, the open tryout announcement from the football team this morning?
You got to have your physical by February 28th. So don't forget if you're trying out, Matty T. I didn't know if we got to be enrolled.
Well, you got to be a full-time student.
Yeah.
I don't know how many credits Matty is taking these days at the U of A. But he would have the eligibility, I guess.
He's got 4 years to get. I got 5 to get 4 in. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know if I'd missed it in previous years. The email or
I've
the
never seen it
for
before.
Open tryouts?
Never. Usually, Phil, they when you go up to camp or you have like a 3-day weekend where you have preferred walk-ons on for camp and stuff. So never seen it publicized like this. They have it, but it's more of when you come into camp with other guys and stuff. So, but man, if you can find somebody, every year there was a walk-on that Coach Nutt gave a scholarship to and that played and helped the team. So they're out there.
Was it a preferred walk-on or, someone that went to a tryout? Because, I mean, I know there is a difference between that, and I've kind of experienced that myself in life. I might have gotten into it a little bit earlier on the air, maybe not with you, Matt, but and it's too long of a story to get into, but I screwed up a chance to play college baseball at Indiana, not realizing that I guess in their terms I was like a PWO, didn't make it to the tryouts. The second year I was in school, I did go to tryouts. They were the open tryouts. Made it past the first round of that, but then, I didn't make it anywhere after that. And I guess in that team, that's a long time ago in a Big Ten baseball school. But with Arkansas football, man, I mean, it just, I don't know. I thought maybe I had missed something over the years, and I wondered why we're doing open tryouts. Now, today, or not today, March 1st, I guess is when it all starts. Also coincides with a tweet from the baseball team at Arkansas that they're looking for student workers for the grounds crew. So if you don't make the football team on the tryouts, get over to Baum and you can sign up your life to be part of the grounds crew. The grounds crew that actually has to work on grass, not like every other, a lot of the other teams across the SEC.
I sure hope they keep it that way. I hope the football team now, are they in grass or are they field turf right now? Because
that's grass.
I know they were field turf with Petrino for a little bit, and then they went back to grass. But I hope they stay.
Grass.
I hope they stay grass.
I think, and someone had texted to us a couple of days ago. We were getting into the field conditions at the Super Bowl and how badly that affected the game.
It seemed like it needed
it's the same kind of grass.
It seemed like it needed another month for the roots to set in. It just seemed like it was just too fresh, like it wasn't heavy, weighed down a little bit. But the grass, the thing when it gives like that, what that is, that's not your knee breaking. So when you're in that field turf and it doesn't give that pressure, that energy, that has to go somewhere. So it goes up your leg, and that's why you have so many knee injuries, where when the grass gives a little bit, that's just helping your whole body right there.
What did I forget the player that was referring to the injuries that happen on the turf like you're talking about, and he described the wobble of the knee and how that can affect the ligament. Anyway, no, they use grass at Razorback Stadium.
Good.
It's the same grass that was utilized at State Farm Field or State Farm Stadium, and it's that Tahoma 31, I think is what it's called, that is developed at Oklahoma State. I don't know the kind of grass whatever it's called that's at Bowen Walker. I just know that there's no artificial surfaces there. The only ballpark in the entire SEC that doesn't have any artificial surface.
When you're on the same longitude right there, or it's a longitude that goes around. So I like that as far as your surface for your grass, because you're going to have the same environment when you're talking about Stillwater to Fayetteville. You're not really changing your environment that much. I'm telling you, Phil, the best football field I ever played on in my entire life was that Kentucky Bluegrass. We wanted to play all day. The best field. I mean, just the smell of it, the feel of it, just how the way it was cut, the length of it. I mean, you still remember it to this day. Absolute best. And you said they went to field turf.
That's right.
And breaking my heart. Yeah.
Turf, right. Even the baseball field, which is new. I think it's like 5 years old there. Not a speck of grass or even a speck of dirt on that thing. So call yourself the Bluegrass State, I guess. It's just fine. Open tryouts for football. Dave Van Horn just finished a Zoom in which he announced the starting rotation for this weekend for the baseball season opener. Maybe this will hold throughout the year. I guess I wouldn't be surprised if it does. Hagen Smith to pitch on Friday against Texas. That'll be exciting for him because he's a Texas boy and pitching at the Ranger Stadium. Will McIntyre to face TCU on Saturday. Hunter Holland, the lefty out of San Jac, will pitch on Sunday. And it makes sense. Oklahoma State's a lefty-heavy lineup. Holland should be tough on lefties from everything I've heard and the little bit that I've seen. And you also don't double up lefty after lefty with Smith and then Holland. So this kind of works out a little bit. And we got other SEC basketball games to get to. You got a huge one today with Alabama and Tennessee. Alabama might be without their starting center. Charles Bediako hurt his knee at Auburn the other day, and it could either be limited or could miss today's game. Of course, Alabama, 2-game lead in the standings right now over the Aggies, who the Hogs will try to knock them a little bit off of their pedestal in second place in the conference. So it's a busy Wednesday here on Halftime. We'll have Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio, hour number 3. You already had the hiring of Brad Bobo to be the offensive coordinator over there over at Georgia. So Mike Bobo replaces Todd Monken. That took like 2 hours.
Where's Bobo? Was he a Georgia guy? Has he been at Georgia before?
He's a quarterback at Georgia. He's been the offensive coordinator there.
That's what I thought.
He was the head coach at Colorado State when they beat the Razorbacks, if I remember correctly, and then was the OC at South Carolina.
He was at Georgia before David Green, though. Like he was, because David, he would have been in the 90s or so. Yeah, that's what I thought. The name sounded familiar. Yeah.
Well, it's familiar to everybody over there in Georgia, so we'll get Bill's thoughts on that. Alyssa Orange in hour number 2 from Pig Trail Nation for her weekly hit. After this upcoming break in just a moment, we'll be joined by Grant Hall to get into baseball, basketball, football, and a whole lot of other stuff. Want to talk to those who are inside the city of Charleston, and you had it with your high-priced garbage internet. Trash that internet for something better. Wave Rural Connect is having a sign-up event right now through 5:30 in the afternoon at Charleston Community Center, 311 Freedom Road. You just go over to the Charleston Community Center, you sign up, you get great internet, just like that. You can also sign up at signup.waveruralconnect.com. Wave Rural Connect, the local internet provider, fast rural internet from Wave Rural Connect. We'll be joined by Grant Hall on Halftime after this.
You can dust it off and try again. Dust yourself off and try again. You don't wanna throw it all away. I might be shy on the first day. What about the next day?
The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson, Tommy Kraft, and Chuck Barrett.
Once college football concludes, a little piece of my heart is severed. And I know they've got the USFL and the XFL and the other stuff, but
that sounds a little bit of an exaggeration that your heart is severed.
It's cut off. That's what I look forward to every single year. And college football season there's nothing like it.
Don't miss the Morning Rush. Weekdays from 6 till 9, only on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
The biggest and best selection of brand new 22 and 23 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. The 22 F-150. Get a $1,000 rebate and 1.9% financing for 60 months. Ford Bronco Sports, 3.9% for 60 months or 5.9% for 72 months. Plus Mach-E Mustangs, Escapes, and more are ready today with special offers. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Get the best value, service, and TV locally with personal service from WOW World of Wireless, your neighborhood professional Dish authorized retailer. Stop in and ask us about the Hopper 3, Dish's most advanced DVR that delivers a premium viewing experience. Tired of running out of DVR space? With the Hopper 3, you can record up to 2,000 hours of your favorite programming and watch your very own favorite channels and DVR recordings anywhere you go on your phone or tablet. Call now. WOW World of Wireless. 877-305-DISH. That's 877-305-3474 for more details. Or online at shopwownow.com. World of Wireless is located at 601 Church Street in Barling next to Frank Rowe Furniture. That's 601 Church Street in Barling. Come see us at our new location.
Monthly equipment fees and other restrictions apply. Recording hours vary. 2,000 hours based on SD programming. Remote viewing requires internet connection and compatible mobile device.
Hi, this is Ricky Smith, head basketball coach for the Northside Lady Bears. I dial 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
This is Northside head basketball coach Eric Burnett. I call 782-8940. That's 782-8940.
Take advantage of York Factory rebates on high-efficiency HVAC products.
782-8940.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
With everyday low prices on top brands, locally owned Yeager's Ace Hardware is committed to offering real service with real savings. Get these great deals at any of our 4 locations. Ace 40-pound wild bird food or 20-pound black oil sunflower seed, only $20. Assorted flavors of Ace bird suet, only 99 cents. And Ace pleated air filters, buy 3, get 1 free. Find more everyday low prices online at YeagersHardware.com. Yeager's Ace Hardware, offering real service with real savings.
Roses are red, violets are blue. If I had your bank account, I'd worry about alimony too. I'm Jackie Mock with Mock Legal Solutions. Call today for a free consultation and ask about our special pricing for new divorce filings in February. 479-769-1505. Mock Legal Solutions, real advice, reasonable price.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Find halftime on 99.5 in Northwest Arkansas, 95.3 in Fort Smith and the River Valley, 96.3 in Hot Springs and Central Arkansas, 104.3 in Harrison and Mountain Home, and everywhere on hitthatline.com. Now back to the hosts. Here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Grant Hall joining us here for a Wednesday morning hit. Good morning, Grant. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Happy New Year, man. We got pitchers and catchers reporting for spring training across the Major League Baseball landscape. You celebrate that like New Year's the same way that I do?
Well, I read something about the second day yesterday, and it kind of sneaked up. I didn't realize they were already doing that. So, but we went to, talking about Valentine's Day, my wife and I went to see Moulin Rouge last night at the Walton Arts Center. It just tremendous energy in that production. So if anybody gets a chance, it's still on a few more times this week.
Well, that sounds like fun. That sounds like a nice Valentine's Day date.
So it's like a musical, Broadway. It's not the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. It's not the one that they did 15 years ago with the music.
It's like the stage production version of the movie,
right?
Yeah, Christina Aguilera, something like that, and that crew. Yeah.
Yeah, and at the end they had these streamers and like confetti came up, and these little hearts, came wafted right up there to the first seat in the balcony. So that's where we sat. It's pretty cool.
It sounds like a heck of a lot of fun, man. I actually still have not seen the movie, so I don't know if I need to see one or the other first. Grant, we've got a lot going on in Arkansas Razorback athletics land now. You got the baseball season starting on Friday. Softball already is 5-0. Gymnastics is in full swing. Both men's and women's basketball are in the home stretch. We're having open tryouts for football, which feels different than usual. Do you remember open tryouts for football anytime recently? Because I can't. Matt can't either.
Yeah, I think maybe they've had them a few times, but not publicized like this, like you said, Matt. And that's interesting. I mean, I wonder if they'll find a 12-man deal and find some player. People used to make a big deal out of when they went and got John Rutledge off the intramural field to play quarterback when the Razorbacks got 3 quarterbacks hurt in one game. But the less publicized thing about that was he had been with the program. He had played a few years and then, decided not to play, and he was playing intramural football. But he knew the system and everything, and they went back, got him, and I think used him a little bit.
Yeah, he had to play. I would think I was a sophomore or a junior in high school. I remember when that happened. But yeah, you're right. It wasn't like they just went and got him. He had been practicing. Yeah. He was halfway talented. But before we get into a little bit of basketball and some other things, I do want to get your thoughts on the Super Bowl. What impressed you the most?
Matt, I thought that the play when Hurts did his Garo Yepremian imitation and gave him a touchdown. I mean, not to be unkind, but that play was kind of the ball game as it turned out. I mean, as good a game as he played. And he played well, and you could see on that last pass that he didn't have the arm strength, the shoulder strength. But he played great. It was a great ball game. Just, for a long time, the Super Bowl was a super bore, and people talked about it was never a great game. It seems like most of them are pretty good now. Most of them are exciting. And one note with Patrick Mahomes, John David Lindsay reminded me yesterday that his father, Pat Mahomes, and Phil, you'll remember this, was a major league pitcher. He had a 42-39 record. I looked him up. He's from Bryan, Texas, and he was 6'4", 212. He'd be 52 years old now, and he pitched for Minnesota, Boston, New York Yankees, Texas. His last year was with the Pirates in 2003. Phil, do you remember him?
Oh yeah, I mean there are all kinds of major league veterans that close out their career with one last year with the Pirates because it's the only team that'll sign them.
They got to find 9 guys, right?
Well, you got
to have a pitching staff, right? You got to get a warm body here or there. I remember watching Pat Mahomes pitch. He was good. I think he might have closed for the Twins for a year or two.
Yeah, his career ERA though was 5.47, but in 1999. He was 8-0 with the New York Yankees with a 3.68 earned run average. But the more interesting thing about him was that he signed with he was going to play basketball at Arkansas with the Mayberry, Day, Oliver Miller group, but
Pat
he chose
Mahomes?
Yes, but he chose baseball instead. So he was, I guess, that close to being a Razorback basketball player.
It's in the blood. I mean, they're athletes. You can see how he's out there running around. I mean, Grant, the guy that, and maybe this is just the receiver in me, but A.J. Brown impressed me the most. I mean, that dude was a man out there, and you know why now when Jalen Hurts is throwing the ball up, he's throwing it in that direction because it's not going to be intercepted.
Well, and it was, Mahomes only passed for, 188 or 184 or something, but they were all pretty effective yards. He did what he had to do there, and y'all probably did. You talk Monday about the call and whether it should have been called or not? The penalty there at the end. And I did read that the player they called it on said he basically said, "Yeah, I held him." He wasn't as disturbed about it as a lot of fans were.
Matt, how often is there holding that's not called on any play in the NFL? Outside the line of scrimmage, it's a little bit easier to see, I guess.
They used to have that.
There's holding on like every play,
and they used to have that 3-yard, 5-yard rule where they could get your hands on them because that was in the first 5 yards. I mean, it was right there on the line of scrimmage. The thing you want is you want them to get it right, but you want them to be consistent. You just want to know how we're calling it all and call it the same way all game.
Yeah, and that Pereira, who I think does a great job with everything. At first he said, I think when you look at this, you're going to see the holding. But then I noticed he never said anything again after the replay. So
it was soft. I thought it was soft, but yeah. I mean, it was the right call. But it's a little soft. It was a great game.
It was a tug. It was a jersey tug. I mean, it wasn't.
I don't think he catches the ball. I don't think he catches the ball even if he doesn't tug him. But by the letter of the law, it was a foul.
Yeah, and I don't know how you guys are on if something. If you call it in the first quarter, then you call it in the fourth quarter, or when it comes down to, like a lot of times, your coaches say, "Well, in that situation, you don't call that."
I took what I said to Phil was I correlated it to as an umpire calling balls and strikes. It's like all of a sudden in the 9th inning or 8th inning with it's a 3-2 count, and you're calling this low slider a strike all day, and then you call it a ball, or the vice versa. Whatever you're doing, it's like just be consistent is what you want.
Yeah, I think that's right. A couple of other notes, by the way, you mentioned a lot of Razorback stuff, Phil. Stacey Lewis is going to be the Solheim Cup captain for 2 years. You see that? She's going overseas this year to do it, and then when they come back to the United States next year, she'll do it again. So that's pretty cool. And then there's this note, and Eric Musselman mentioned this the other night on his radio show. Stanley Amude has a 10-day contract with the Detroit Pistons. So add him to the list of former Razorbacks. In the NBA, the Pistons are 16-43 playing in Boston tonight. I mean, maybe there's a chance, Matt, for him to get in at the end of maybe when they're down 25 points or something. I don't know. Sometimes these guys on 10 days.
I like Amude at Arkansas. I guess I'd be surprised if he sticks in the NBA, but you get a 10-day contract, might get a chance to show what you can do.
Did he have any years eligibility left at Arkansas, or was that his?
I don't think he did.
Yeah.
He was 4 years at South Dakota.
Oh,
South
okay.
Dakota State.
Transferred
Can't
in for
remember
a
which
year.
one of those.
No, he's a little stud. Yeah.
Well, his first year at South Dakota, he said he was known for holding the chairs for the starters. In fact, Eric said he was not highly recruited. So a guy like that, not very highly recruited guys get a chance at the NBA.
Yeah, they kind of know NBA when you're about 14, 15 years old. They kind of know about the 7 guys. And that's the thing about these first-round picks we got into a little bit. There's only 12 guys a year that are going to make rosters and play. So being drafted 28th means you're not going to be on the team.
How about a couple of second-rounders from Arkansas the past few years that are making a name for themselves now at Oklahoma City?
Yeah.
Isaiah Joe, Jalen Williams, both second-round picks, and the playing time has come slowly for them, but it's there now. And, they're giving reason to get back on the court game after game. You don't see too many DNPs for those guys any longer.
Yeah.
And when you do, you think, why did that even happen? Because Zay leads the NBA in three-point percentage. And Jalen Williams, he is such an intelligent
he's a good big
basketball player.
Mm-hmm.
So smart.
I think he's leading in field goal percentage. Of course, it'd be fewer attempts probably, but yeah, and that's a last place team, but they're not that far out of it. So
how tall is Jalen Williams, Grant? Because he
10, right?
He reminds me a little bit of Jokic, the center from Denver. Like when you're talking about intelligent, can pass the ball, can move. Now I'm not saying he's that good, but that's kind of his mold. That Arvydas Sabonis, one of those guys that can kind of do a little bit of everything out there, just crafty with the ball.
Takes charges, a great passer. Yeah.
Hey, Grant, the pitching rotation was announced by Dave Van Horn earlier today. There aren't any surprises, with Hagan and then McIntyre and then Hunter Holland. I'm assuming Jackson Wiggins would have been penciled in for the Friday. But I like having a couple of lefties in the starting rotation, and you can see Dave wanted them split, to have Hagan on a Friday, Holland on a Saturday, on a Sunday, and McIntyre kind of the cream filling as the right-hander in between the left-hander Oreo sandwich. I like how this rotation shakes out. I wonder, though, there are a lot of options still to start a game. Brady Tigard be one of them. Austin Ledbetter, potentially another one. There are other guys, too. I just wonder. I think this rotation can hold, but there are options in case somebody in a couple of months, needs a week off.
Yeah, and that's interesting when Dave talked about this might be his deepest pitching staff. And, of course, not long after that, you lose one of the, as you said, maybe a Friday night starter. Wiggins, he had like a 6 ERA last year, but they said that he had really gotten a lot of control and was mastering several pitches. So that's a loss. I mean, it kind of, it's less leeway, I guess. But you're right. I mean, we were kind of counting up 7 or 8 guys that were potential weekend starters.
Are you signing up for Flow Sports? Or are you just going to be listening this weekend? Or are you maybe, I don't know, there's so much to watch. I mean, you could get your eyes on softball. You get men's basketball Saturday, women's basketball Sunday. Take your pick. So what is it that you'll be watching closely?
I haven't even got past tonight too much. I've just been thinking about this game a lot and Nick Smith and people talking about, did it mess up the chemistry when he came in and so forth. And, Matt, I know you've been really high on Nick Smith and especially in 3 or 5 games when he gets back into things. I thought it did maybe affect a couple of the other guys.
Mm-hmm. That's expected, Matt, though, right? Like it's kind of yeah.
When you played, did you have a sense that it might have affected somebody else's spot on the team? Were there other guys that didn't?
I wasn't that good. So when I got in, it took me, it took me 3 weeks before I kind of got my playing time and kind of got moved in. But we weren't that good, Grant. I think we were below 500 both years I played. That's really the reason I got to play is because we just weren't that good.
Well, this A&M team was awful in pre-conference, and they're great now. And they, tonight that you got Alabama, Tennessee, and by the way, I've got Tennessee winning that one by 20 points. Just from, I heard Clay say yesterday about he thought Mississippi State would be Kentucky by 20. I think so. By the time the game starts, A&M could be looking at moving within one game of the lead. But I think the Razorbacks are going to play well. Whether it's a win tonight, I don't know. But last time, A&M had that travel nightmare, and I think what was it? Coleman, I think, went for 18 and 15. But we're gonna, Eric knows that they're gonna change what they do, and he's gonna change what he does, and it should be pretty interesting.
I'd start Nick Smith. I wonder what lineup he's gonna go with. But I'm a fan. The stat line might not show it, but if you just watch the way he moved around the court, you're gonna win more games with Nick Smith than you're gonna win without him.
I tell you, it's interesting to see. Like Grant, Mikell has been in the starting lineup for what has it been now? 5-6 games in a row,
right?
And
right.
I mean, he's going to play. He's going to play. He blocked 7 shots against them, rebounded well. But it's like you got Walsh coming off the bench. I think he's great in that role. I like the idea of a Mikell Mitchell also doing the same thing. To get in there and bang a little bit because his brothers had some trouble staying on the court the last.
And we
got
to keep them off the boards. We know they're gonna offensive rebound.
Oh, they got 20, I think, against Arkansas.
24,
last time,
yeah.
And that's why I think he may start Mikell tonight. But who knows? It'd be fun to see what they do. Yeah.
Well, Grant, we'll leave it there. I appreciate you hopping on with us. Glad you had a great Valentine's Day at Moulin Rouge, and we'll see what it is you see at the Art Center next week. Okay.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Grant.
You got it. Grant Hall. We appreciate his time every Wednesday here on Halftime. We're brought to you by WT Equipment. They've got 8 locations to serve customers all across Arkansas and North Louisiana. WT Equipment offers equipment sales, service, and parts. They are authorized New Holland agriculture and construction equipment dealership. So if you need equipment to be ready for harvest or putting up your hay this upcoming summer, WT Equipment is your source. They have a large selection of new and pre-owned inventory, so when you're ready to invest in agriculture or construction equipment, stop by your nearest WT Equipment location. You can also go online to WTEquip.com. We'll open the phones, 877-377-6963 for halftime.
I am not who you say I am.
I'm a pastor.
I am a caregiver.
I am a father.
I am a friend.
I'm a doctor.
Chances are someone you know and love is struggling with substance use disorder, but recovery is possible. Help starts when we stop stigma, view each other with compassion, and reach out for help. Call 1-800-622-HELP to get started. This message sponsored by the North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education and supported by grant number 2018-AR-BX-KO85 awarded by the Bureau of Justice Assistance.
The world is always changing, and our lives change right along with it. So when you need a bigger space for that gym or remote office, a larger kitchen, or a yard to run around in, your local Weichert agent can help. And when your life changes again, and you're looking for that cozy place for just the two of you, your Weichert agent can help then too. Because at Weichert Realtors, we know that no matter how the world changes around you, we'll take you home. Call your local Weichert Realtors office today. At Weichert Realtors, we sell more because we do more. Each Weichert franchised office is independently owned and operated.
When was the last time you looked forward to seeing the dentist? Well, if it's been a while, or if you haven't had the best of experiences with dentistry, meet Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry. Give her a call at 494-7600. They'll take care of it all. Crowns, bonding, dentures, bleaching, and cosmetic dentistry. Marcy Van Ash McKinney Family Dentistry at 807 South 21st. Call for an appointment today, 494-7600. That's 494-7600.
Is your heating system leaving you out in the cold? Funny smell? Grinding noises? Or just plain not keeping you comfortable? If it's time for a new heating and air system, you deserve the best. Get a complete Paschal system replacement starting at only $99 a month. Don't settle for good when you can have the best. Schedule today at gopaschal.com. Professional people, professional service, Paschal Air, Plumbing, and Electric.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Love is in the air at Crane Used Car Supercenter of Fort Smith. And dealer-operator Joe Pulliam is making sweetheart deals all month long. Like pre-owned vehicles starting as low as $7,497 or payments as low as $269 a month. You'll fall in love with a Crane pre-love with lots to choose from. Kias and Land Rovers to full-size trucks, all backed by the Crane commitment. Rush to the Crane Used Car Supercenter, 8200 US 71 South in Fort Smith. UACC dealer details.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
So she said, what's the problem, baby? What's the problem? I don't know. Well, maybe I'm in love. Think about it every time I think about it. Can't stop thinking about it.
back to halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Hogs starting today behind Vanderbilt in the standings at 6-6 in the SEC. That puts them right now tied for 8th with Florida. Florida's got Ole Miss today, so you might want to peg them to a victory. Last night, Vanderbilt, right? Now, Vandy is one of the hottest teams in the league. Once they got Liam Robbins back, 24 points, 8 rebounds to help the Commodores win in Columbia against the Gamecocks, 75-64. So Vandy, again, a half game ahead of the Hogs in the standings. Mizzou got pasted. They trailed at Auburn yesterday at halftime, 45-18.
Oh, my goodness.
How does that work for you, being down 27 points to start the second half? They end up losing 89-56.
Phil, I think Missouri might be on the outside looking in when it gets all said and done. They might be one of those last 4 out. They're going to need to pick it up a little bit.
And also, Georgia sent LSU to a 12th consecutive loss. I'd like LSU to at least have one more league win so that their only victory isn't against Arkansas, because it's right now that's the case. 1-12 with 12 consecutive. They haven't won a game in the new year yet, not one. They even lost in the Big 12 SEC Challenge.
It's a habit.
So I think
now.
That's 13 losses in a row. That's right. Losing and winning becomes a habit at some point, doesn't it? Didn't Frank Broyles say we're going to turn winning habitual? I mean, it's the whole idea. You go through your certain processes to get ready for a game, and you just get used to doing the right thing. It becomes a habit. And right now, LSU's habit is getting dropped. And this was a tight one.
And you lose a little belief, Phil. When you lose 7, 8, 9, 10 in a row, these young kids, it's kind of, you're like, here we go again. Like it's not, we're not going to close it out, and it gets that much hard. That's like us winning our road game. I thought that was so big for us going and beating South Carolina on the road, and then we were able to
show you can do it.
Exactly.
Didn't matter who it was against. You know, it could have won a road game at Louisville. They have 3 wins this year. It's a road game. It just shows you can do it. Like, I've been around teams, even one baseball team at Arkansas and a couple of women's basketball teams, but a lot of teams in the minor leagues, they just went into the game knowing, all right, it might get up 3-0, 4-0. It's just you're gonna find a way to lose because you've already seen it. I mean, I had a couple of minor league teams, Matt, that for like 3 months in a row, they'd lose 8 more games than they won that month, and so by the time you got to August, you'd be like, all right, 6-0 right now, 6-0 lead. This will be a lot of fun to watch it implode. I don't know how many leads LSU has had because that's just not a very good team. They've got some wins though on the schedule, I think. South Carolina, Vanderbilt, then at Ole Miss, Mizzou, and Florida. I think they'll find a way to pull off one victory as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, Missouri's the only team on there that has a chance to go to March Madness on if you're looking at their final opponents. None of those schools are playing any postseason play, so they do have a chance to they could get another win.
Alabama, Tennessee tonight. That is in Knoxville. That's the game that's ahead of Arkansas and A&M on ESPN2. So chances are, and I don't know the other programming. The programming schedule on the other ESPN stations, whether the network or ESPNU, but chances are you're probably going to have to start Arkansas and A&M on the Plus, which angers some people sometimes. It's not that difficult to find. It's just I think you're going to see the start of the game on ESPN2. You just got to go onto an app in order to watch it.
They should have something on this technology nowadays. You should have something where it should be like, I don't care about the game in front of it, but like just automatically start showing my streams, start showing me the game I want to see. As soon as the game starts, you should have that option to. But I guess what you're saying is, you do have that option. It's just not on ESPN2. You just have to flip the channel to get somewhere else. Yeah.
Well, you just got to go to the app.
And
really,
then
you go to the ESPN app, or you can pull it up on your phone. Or like what I'll do, like I'm going to spend tonight when I watch the game tonight. I'm preparing for tomorrow's women's basketball game against Tennessee. So I've got a dual screen setup here. On one screen, I'll have my prep, stuff ready to go. And then on the other screen, all I do is pull up the ESPN website. You go to the scoreboard of the SEC, when you go into the NCAA and it says scores, you click on it, takes you to it, you choose the conference, and then at the end of the Arkansas A&M line there, it's going to say watch. You just click it and you watch on your. It's like watching on a video monitor that's a computer screen. It's the same as watching it on a television.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'll be good to go, man.
I want to watch it as well. It seems like that you kind of miss that first TV timeout. I know the last game, that's what happened. You didn't get to catch it until the first TV timeout.
Interesting little note here as I look on the ESPN odds, which they get from Caesars Sportsbook, and the Bet Saracen odds are different once again. Caesars has A&M favored by 4.
Mm-hmm.
Bet Saracen has A&M favored by 3.5. So as usual, since you're getting more Arkansas bettors betting on the Bet Saracen app than they will on the Caesars Sportsbook, they're putting a little more money on Arkansas than the rest of the country would be.
It's going to be a tough game, Phil. It's going to be one of those where we're going to have to play good at every phase. If it's guarding inbounds plays like set pieces, I thought that's where Mississippi State really got us, was inbounding the ball and running their set pieces and getting easy buckets and not having to set up an offense. We're going to have to play defense. Defense is going to have to travel. If we're going to beat this A&M team, we're going to have to get back to playing defense like we were when we went to Kentucky and won that game by 15 points. That's because of our defense. I mean, we want to look at the offense, and we have 4 or 5 guys in double figures. That's very true, but that's because we're unselfish passing the ball, and we had a lot of transition points, a lot of defense leading to your offense.
Well, you also can't expect to win, giving up 24 offensive rebounds and turning it over 17 times. So there's no way.
Got to play better.
Look, Arkansas played well enough offensively against A&M a couple of weeks ago to work to get good shots, and they shot really, really well. That was one of Devo's best games offensively with 19, 4 for 8 from long range. So, I mean, you can work to get good shots, but you can't take 20 fewer shots than your opponent usually to win the game. They just had more possessions than the Razorbacks did. So, A&M, I'm betting you they've had this one circled and underlined and italicized since 2 weeks ago. All right, we're going to break in a moment here. I just told you about the Bet Saracen ads. They are different. They are different for many of the Arkansas games than the big national apps. And Bet Saracen operates only inside our state. If you want to bet the Vegas odds, you got to be in Vegas to bet them. Arkansas law doesn't allow those big national apps to operate inside our state. So if you want the most accurate and up-to-date sports wagering info and sometimes just better odds on Arkansas and some other games, be on the Bet Saracen app. All you got to do is go to the App Store on either Google Play or the Apple App Store, download Bet Saracen, and it's as simple as that. You can also use any web browser and go to the address betsaracen.com. We will come back, wrap up hour number 1 of Halftime next.
Trying to make some sense of it all, but I can see it makes no sense at all. Is it cool to go to sleep on the floor? 'Cause I don't think that I can take anymore. Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
There's more to a tractor than just horsepower. A tractor also needs weight to get that horsepower to the ground. With TYM, a heavier tractor comes standard. Many of the TYM models weigh more for the horsepower than comparable tractors from the big names. And tractors that weigh more, do more. See Bush Tractor at their new location at 6100 South Zero in Fort Smith, or log on to bushtractor.com to see how they can upgrade your productivity.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind everyone to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I'd also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify.
The homestead tax credit can save you up to $375 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor.
The cold and flu seasons are here, and Law's Drugstore has what you need to safely care for you and your family. Law's Drugstore can fill and refill your prescriptions, and they have all the over-the-counter cold and flu remedies to provide comfort. Call 452-6116 and ask about vaccine shot appointments for shingles, pneumonia, COVID, and whooping cough. Law's Drugstore, 6802 Rogers Avenue behind Outback Steakhouse. Law's Drugstore, open 6 days a week to safely care for you and your family.
Some of my fondest childhood memories are from volunteering with my grandmother. Helping others was her passion. She'd always say, "The sweetest fruits of life come from serving others." And she was right.
At Shelter Insurance, we strive to make a positive impact in the communities where we work and live.
Call Jeff Clark in Fort Smith or Brad Howell in Van Buren.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Providers help thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-345-2789. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-345-2789. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds, too. Call 800-345-2789. 800-345-2789.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Art's and get $1 off. Try Art's Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Art's burgers come with a mound of fresh cut fries, or upgrade to Art's homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
By a jumbo jet. It wasn't easy, but nothing is. No.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Sports media members in the state of Arkansas turning 60 today. Richard Davenport, who of course appears on the Morning Rush weekly, celebrating number 60 today. It sounded when I texted him today was a little. This is a big number. This is a very big number. Matt, I know you're going to be turning the big 40 soon. I've got the big 50 in 4 years. 50 feels like getting older. 60 for RD. He's just getting better with age.
That's it. Just getting better by then, yeah.
You know who else is turning 60 this week on Friday? Michael
February
Jordan.
17th. I know his birthday better than mine. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
60 years old. I mean, you really want to feel old? Michael Jordan's turning 60, you know? And I'm guaranteeing you, he could play better basketball than any other 60-year-old or maybe 50-year-old.
Well, watching him come back when you're watching highlights, and he would go to practice and he'd go up to the Bulls and whoever rookie they got, and he'd go in there and they'd be talking and he'd just beat them, 12-2 or what. Bro, step your game up, man. Like, I mean, he's the best to ever do it. And I know we can get into it and say so and so's so good and this guy's a center and whatever, but when it's all gets said and done, if you have the number 1 overall pick in the NBA draft, you're taking Michael Jordan first. I just think that's a consensus.
Well, we get into too often about the greatest of all time and all this and that. All I know about MJ is that he was the biggest sports star of my lifetime.
He was iconic.
Yes, of when I grew up as a sports fan. So, and I wasn't even an MJ fan, and I didn't buy the shoes, and I wasn't a Bulls fan.
Couldn't afford the shoes.
You can't. Well, I probably would have been able to beg and plead for the money to get those
I'd be
shoes.
like, Mom, Dad, everybody has these shoes. They're like, everybody has those shoes. Like, oh, yeah.
No, you'll have your kids and you'll like them.
Get these Velcro shoes and be like, yeah.
I still like my Reebok pumps.
Reeboks. That's right.
Did you have the pump?
D. Brown.
You remember the D. Brown dunk contest? That's right.
I couldn't afford those either, yeah.
Well, I didn't have to spend the money on it, but I do remember getting a pair of Reebok pumps, and you would sit there or stand there and be like, "Well, I got to make sure I repump my shoes up every 10 minutes. Otherwise it's just not going to be the same. I'm not going to be able to jump and miss the net still because I couldn't even get to the net."
You shaved 0.2 off your 40 time and gained at least 3 inches on your vertical when you pump those things up. It's science.
That's right. You can't deny science. You can never deny science. You also can't deny that there is a sign-up event for Wave Rural Connect at the Charleston Community Center today. Runs through 5:30 in the afternoon. This is for folks who live inside the city of Charleston and have high-priced garbage internet. Wave Rural Connect is at Charleston Community Center right now at 311. That's 311 Freedom Road, and they're there through 5:30. You can also sign up at signup.waveruralconnect.com. Lines are open in the next segment, 877-377-6963. It's halftime on a Wednesday, and we'll be right back.
At Frank Rowe Furniture, spring is on the way, and Frank Rowe Furniture is ready. We have new arrivals on Made in the USA furniture at unbelievable prices. We have two-piece sectionals starting at $13.49, recliners as low as $3.99, sofa and love starting at $13.99. Frank Rowe Furniture offers in-store no-credit check financing with a manager approval or a SEMA financing or SNAP financing. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Why do people love Shamrock Liquor Warehouse? Simple. They've got it all. 70 years in business, 15,000 square feet of choices. They buy in volume so you can save. What else? How about the largest selection of everything? Shamrock's got it. Special orders? Shamrock's got it. Convenient drive-through, open 6 days a week? Shamrock's got it. Need a keg for your party? Shamrock's got it. Load up at Shamrock Liquor Warehouse at the corner of Midland and Riverfront Drive in Fort Smith.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured, with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-DOOR or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
The biggest and best selection of brand new 22 and 23 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. The 22 F-150. Get a $1,000 rebate and 1.9% financing for 60 months. Ford Bronco Sports, 3.9% for 60 months or 5.9% for 72 months. Plus Mach-E Mustangs, Escapes, and more are ready today with special offers. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
Hey, Ty Richardson for A Cut Above Lawn and Landscaping. Does your yard need to be serviced in the fall and winter months? Of course. A Cut Above is with you every step of the way. Whether it's commercial or residential, A Cut Above can handle all your needs. Tree service, stump grinding, brush hog, full landscaping. Plus, A Cut Above can take care of all your leaf removal. Call or text today at 479-719-5605. That's A Cut Above, 719-5605.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. It won't be as cool. Our high this afternoon into the lower 70s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight. Could see a few showers, possibly a few thunderstorms, mid-30s north, low 40s south. And then partly sunny, much cooler on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Carco Auto Sales. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromcarco.com.
Good station.
KERX Paris Fort Smith. This is Halftime, coming at you from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3.
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
Both said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's Halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I put my heart up. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that down, beautiful! Hey!
Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
How minutes, roles, how that gets defined is going to, be based on how guys are playing and how the team's playing. We knew that anytime a player comes back, there's an adjustment for not just the player that's been sitting out, but for the other guys as well. So not a lot of teams are making that adjustment this late in the year, and obviously we are. And
Eric Musselman a couple of days ago on his preview Zoom for the Arkansas A&M game. Now, that's about the minutes throughout the entire game. A lot of people are wondering who's going to start, meaning is Nick Smith going to start today, and whose place would he take in that case? I don't think you bring Nick Smith off the bench too often.
If he's fine, he's starting.
Yes.
It's up to him.
He looked fine the other day.
He's starting.
The feet are wet now, right?
Yeah.
You give him a day. You give him a game to get the feet wet and get used to the speed of the game and everything. And like you said yesterday, get back to the game conditioning. I think he's conditioned as an athlete, but game conditioning is a little bit different.
Yep.
So he's got to be in the starting.
And there's an
lineup
adjustment for him too, Phil. Of he has this natural ability to take over games. The adjustment for him is to take over in the confines of the offense, the way the play goes, and then pick your moments. It's not as soon as we get down the court, which he can do that. That's the thing. He can do all of it. But if you run your offense and then be able to take over while you're running your offense, it just makes it so much easier on you. It's not such a grind or a struggle to get it, where if you're just running the flow of the offense, man, let it happen naturally. You'll be surprised. Like that. That's what Ricky Council had been so good at when I said, man, he made those 20 points look easy. It's because he had stopped kind of really doing that whole deal where it was him and he was grinding for every little thing. He's just doing it in the flow of the offense, and all of a sudden you look up, he has 20 points. He has 18 points, and that's going to be with Nick Smith as well. Once it kind of settles down and comes back, he's just so excited. Man, you could see he was like a puppy dog just the first time out there, just running around, just so with his tail up, just excited as can be.
And I'm interested to see if the outside shot is there today, because, I mean, Devo had the heat check game against Mississippi State. Ricky's not an outside shooter necessarily.
He's a mid-range.
When I talk outside, I'm talking three-point shots. It's been huge for Devo to improve his
He might be our second
shot.
best shooter that's playing behind Nick Smith.
He certainly looked like it. Yeah. But if he has one of those like 1 for 6, 1 for 7 games from downtown, and honestly, like I don't know how often you'd want Devo to take that many 3-pointers to begin with. There's still, this is like part of the conversation from a month ago. You don't have to have your offense based on 3-point shooting. That's not what this team's offense is based on. But you still got to be able to hit a few of them.
And it's contagious. Like when Nick Smith hits a couple, you know what? Anthony Black would hit a couple, and Devo would hit a couple. It just kind of trickled down the line and they'll get a little more confidence. But, Phil, I'm excited to see what they do tonight, and this isn't the end product. This isn't the final product, but just to see the progress. I think we're going to see night and day different in his game from just 3 days ago to this Texas A&M game.
Got Charlie on hold here. You want to get on the phones and give us a call, 877-377-6963. We'll also take your texts. Hi, Charlie. How you doing?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Sun is shining brightly today. Hopefully things are a little bit calmer than we're being told they will later tonight, because we got a basketball game to watch, and I don't want to worry about branches flying around and anything. I want to watch a game.
Definitely, I'm with you. Well, Matt, what I was going to say, though, what I did see the other day is something you talked about. He might have been a little bit anti-offensive, but I'll tell you what, he was getting down in the stance defensively. Did you see that, Nick? He was really moving.
Yeah, he was when he was covering the ball.
I was really impressed with that, because if he can play that way, defensively, he's going to stay on the court, because his offense will come. I'm not worried about his offense, man. He's so naturally gifted. I think we've talked about that. It's going to come. But defensively the other day, man, he was playing hard. He was getting down in the stance, and you worry about that with someone coming off a knee injury, because the lateral movement that you have to be able to do, would he trusted enough to do that? And I thought the first time he played for us, it looked like he wasn't as good defense. Maybe yet, but from coming back the second time, it felt like to me, maybe I'm wrong, but just for what I saw, it just looked like, he really was down in a stance and looked like he could move his feet maybe a little bit better, a little more confident in that knee. So I think he's going to be fine. I don't think that's any issue whatsoever. And Phil, on your point about Devo, I think a couple of those shots the other day were late in the shot clock from three. How many did he take in the game?
It was 5
the other day. I can't remember.
Some of them were late, and those are. Desperation isn't the right word, but the 3-point shot at the end of the shot clock is not within, like Matt is saying, the context of the offense.
Yeah, it's not, and I'm not going to put that on Devo, but I will say this: right now, the way Devo's shooting, if it's in rhythm within the context of the offense,
shoot it with confidence.
He's got to shoot it.
Yes,
he's got to shoot it. He's got to shoot it with confidence. I don't care if he goes 1 for 5 a couple of games, because he's shooting with confidence. And, it's going to happen. Even great shooters have off nights. He just got to shoot it with confidence. And that's the thing. It's going to come, his offense. What I'm worried about tonight more than anything, and I think the key to the game, we got to take care of the basketball. We had 17 turnovers in Fayetteville. And I know the glass is a thing with these guys too. But I think Musk talked about, a little bit game plan-wise, we're going to give up a few things on the glass. I don't know how much you switch, game plan-wise, because you won the last one, but you obviously want to do better there. But at the same time, we cannot turn the basketball over 17 times, guys. These guys are 10-2 for a reason in conference play. I actually think we're going to win this game tonight. I don't usually make those type of predictions.
Ooh.
I didn't think we would beat Kentucky last week. I 100% did not. I thought we would come up short, but I knew we would play a good game. I felt like we would play a good game. And I feel like tonight you're going to see that. We're going to play a really good game. It's going to come down to the end. And I don't care if the final score is 59-58, whatever, 1-point win. I think they're going to find a way to win this game. I really do. And I don't care how it is, ugly, cute, sexy, pretty, whatever you want to call it. We just got through with Valentine's Day, so I guess I could throw all those words in there. Phil, I was thinking about something else before I get off here. You were talking about my talent. And, I know it's so much. I have so many talents. But somebody was walking behind me the other day in the hallway, and I was singing, and she goes, "You're actually pretty good. Do you think you should try out?" And I'm like, "Yeah, right. Have you ever seen me in front of a big crowd?
Yeah,
it ain't gonna happen."
What are you trying out for? Singing the anthem at a game? A brand new band?
The thing is, I can't. Big crowds, like, I can't do it, guys. I mean, it's one of my fears. It's like flying. I can't. I'm terrible in front of huge crowds. I would just choke up. Like,
well, Charlie, let me make you nervous for a moment here, because you call this show more than anyone else. There are tens of thousands of people listening right now. They're listening to you. You don't feel their eyes,
looking
though.
At me.
I feel you, Charlie. I feel you.
Man, it's just a thing that I got to get over. Phil, you are 100% right. It's just like the flying thing. I just need to do it more. I've never been like, I suck at that. Like, I just would have to do it more. But I can sing, actually. I'm actually not bad. I know Maddie can sing, too. I've heard about that. But
well, we heard
anyways,
Matt Jones
guys,
sing briefly.
I
What
can't
about like
sing.
5 seconds of singing yesterday?
I can't sing, but yeah.
You can multiply that by 2. It's
y'all have a good one, though. Y'all have a good one.
And Phil,
Thanks,
what's they say the Seinfeld bit where he's like, the person giving the eulogy is more scared than the person lying in the box. You know, it's like, yeah.
I mean, and you're not somebody that seeks out crowds, Matt. I mean, were you able to block out 70,000 people that are screaming in a football stadium?
That's a totally different thing. Yeah. If I'd had to get up there and you want me to talk for 27 minutes, and I just don't. I'm just like, I don't have anything. What do you want? Like, what can I tell you? You know,
it's like the few times I've hosted the football coaches show, whether it was Brett Bielema or whether it was Sam Pittman.
Mm-hmm.
It's those eyes on you.
Yeah.
Man. It feels weird.
I'm like, just ask me a question.
Radio.
Yeah, just ask me a question or give me some feedback. Just give me one little thing back, and it kind of goes away. Yeah.
Just end up like trying to. All right, remember, look at people when you're talking. Don't just look down, and I don't want to imagine everybody naked.
No, that's a bad advice.
Some weird class.
Yeah.
I just don't buy that one. Everybody should be fully clothed, shoes and socks, and go from there. But it does feel weird, because we do have tens of thousands of people, probably millions of people listening because of hitthatline.com as well. But they can't,
galaxies.
They can see us. We are on the YouTube. We are on the Facebook video, so they can get a look at us. We just don't see their eyes. It's when you see those eyes looking at you, you feel weird. You
very
definitely
true.
feel weird. You won't feel weird getting over to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers, however. They have the best burgers, the best French fries, and the best shakes anywhere in the state of Arkansas. Bacon, mushrooms, grilled onions, fry sauce, and pepper jack cheese. If I was to make my order right now, that's what I would go with at CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. And, of course, get the combo with the fries and the drink. You can get to CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers at the Arkansas Avenue exit in Russellville, or when you get up to Fayetteville for Razorback Athletics, it's right there just off Weddington, less than a mile west off I-49. CJ's Butcher Boy Burgers. When all you do are burgers, they have to be the best. And Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation joins halftime after this.
Young punk spilling beer on my shoes. Fat guys talking to me, trying to steal my blues. Thick smoke, see her smiling through. I never thought so much could happen, just shooting fool. But I can dance, I can talk. The only thing about me is the way that I walk. I can dance, I can sing. I'm just standing here selling, oh, and checking everything is in place.
Are you looking for the best Razorbacks insights and analysis?
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite. White perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost
any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. Bet online, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire. The old saying goes, sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. Sow a character, reap a destiny. God knows you can't overcome. That's why the faith that saves is trusting what Jesus has already done. There's nothing else you can say or use or do. Bad habits lead to doom. I'm Pastor Heath from Woodland. Think about it.
Hi, I'm Mike Van Jr. with Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. You can count on my team to provide top quality pressure washing and exterior cleaning services for your property.
What all do you service?
Fence washing, gutter, or deep concrete cleaning for your home, commercial business, and more.
Do you have insurance?
Absolutely. We're covered with liability insurance, and we also use safe and effective wash methods, leaving your home or business looking brand new.
I guess I need to go to your website, mjmobilewash.com.
Or just give me a call at 479-763-5561.
Mike Jr.'s Mobile Wash. One call cleans it all.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab.
In changing economic times, we're offering the longest terms in the ag industry. Talk to Farm Credit today. Find an office near you at myaglender.com. Equal housing lender.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Well, I snuck to a window to leave her a note. Will you come meet me at the back of the grove? All the trees were in bloom, that sweet smell in the air. We were trembling together. We were young, we were scared, yeah.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
Got a chance to talk with Alyssa Orange from Pig Trail Nation today. Alyssa, I wonder if this has ever happened to you. Matt, maybe you too. We just had a commercial break. I walked over towards the kitchen. I've got an Echo Show, one of those Amazons, and we've been talking. We've said the word Devo, the name Devo, maybe like 10 times in the first hour. My Echo wants me to listen to the band Devo. These things are listening to us, and they're recommending music off of our sports talk. Tell me this happens to you, please, and I'm not the only one.
Oh, no, I've made comments about, looking at, I'm thinking about buying my mom a heated blanket for Christmas. The next thing I know, heated blanket ads start popping up on my Instagram. It's really creepy. Always listening.
I like my milkshake brings all the boys to the town. Dang right, it's better than yours. then maybe then you get a little
Can't sing, but he can rap.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so there's a game tonight. It's a big game tonight.
Yeah.
Chance to go 2-0, chance for a road win, chance to – I'm not going to say that they were taken off the hot streak on Saturday because you can get back on the hot streak with a win today against A&M. What are your thoughts on Arkansas's chances tonight in College Station?
Well, I think that this Arkansas team we've got to see if they can if they're really buying into the sense of urgency that I think that this team is in right now. And obviously adding Nick Smith Jr. back into the mix is going to be good down the road, but you've got to get him reacclimated again. And, you know, he was +3 when he was in there. He played okay. He's still a very talented player, even though he hasn't played in a really long time. But it also disrupted some rhythm that we have seen this team develop over that win streak that they put together. But their margin of error right now is very, very small, especially then when you lose to a team like Mississippi State at home. You've got to win one back on the road. Can it be this A&M team? You know, I was looking, Phil, Matt, at the schedule, and if you look, sometimes you feel a little better, okay, we've played this team before. But you look at this schedule, they haven't played Florida or Georgia yet, Tennessee yet, and then they play Kentucky to round it out. And so they're about to play a bunch of opponents that they have yet to play this season, as opposed to teams that they're getting their second shot at. So if there are any games that I have a little more confidence in, it's in this Texas A&M game and then Kentucky down the road at Bud Walton Arena.
Yeah, Alyssa, I thought Nick, he's just raw. I think you're right on that. He's so talented. Just let the offense come to him, and he's going to be fine. When you're talking about the Mitchell brothers, do you think both of them start tonight, knowing that we got to keep Texas A&M off the offensive glass?
I think so. I think what they did when they played them the first time back here is what you got to do again, and go with a bigger lineup. It's been working, and Mikkel and Makai are playing with such confidence right now. I think your best bet is to put them out there. Like you know, don't mess something up that's working. And those guys are playing such good basketball. They're confident around the rim. They're starting to realize they can truly play in this league and make a difference in this league. So I would start with size and see what it gets you right off the bat.
I like how you use the term sense of urgency, because there is no given right now. You know, you're not in a position. You got to keep winning games in order to secure your spot in the tournament. Because right now, I mean, if you believe what Lunardi says, you're a 9 seed or an 8 seed, and you know, if you don't play well this last month, you're going to find your way on the outside looking in. And I wonder if it's the same for the women's team. You know, you got to have a sense of urgency for these last 5 games to secure your spot in the tournament. And honestly, maybe, I mean, the men's side might be even more secure than the women's side. You know, even at 6-6, like this is a year in the SEC where I don't expect to see as many teams get into the tournament as usual. And really, you know, tomorrow is like a real opportunity to cement, you know, not your seed in the tournament, but I mean, a win over Tennessee, that would go a long way. And that would also be maybe one of the first games, if not the first, that Arkansas wins as an underdog on the women's side.
Yeah, it's huge. You know, I was saying this yesterday on the show. Charlie Cream put out his latest bracketology yesterday, and Arkansas right now is one of the last 4 with a bye as a 10 seed. And so you're sitting right there on that ledge, and you're going to go one way or the other with these 4 games that are left for the women. And Mike Nevers has said, we don't have it all figured out still, but he saw such good improvement from that Vanderbilt game to that Missouri game that this team can work on. But now you've got Tennessee coming in, who they're unranked right now, but have played really, really talented teams, have had a really tough schedule, and they're still Tennessee. They play well, they have the length, they have the strength. And so if Arkansas can beat Tennessee at home, that's a statement win. We all know, right, the committee obviously looks at your schedule as a whole, but so much of it can be, what have you done lately? And if this late in the season and you get a win at home over a team like Tennessee, people are going to notice that and remember that come 2 weeks from now when Selection Sunday rolls around.
Big start of the baseball season coming up. You guys at Pig Trail Nation got things planned for season preview, stuff like that. I mean, And softball's in swing too, and it's like, oh my
yeah.
gosh, the bat and ball teams might be in the best position of any other program on the campus outside of track.
Yeah, it's fun. It's exciting. Obviously, softball taking care of business in Vegas in dominating fashion, truly. Going out there and just handling their business was fun to see. About to go to Clearwater and open up that tournament with my alma mater, which I'm excited to watch. But great talent down there. They're going to play 3 of the 5 teams they play are ranked. It's going to be a really good glimpse at some postseason action in February. And then, it's kind of like that with the men down in Arlington. And Courtney and I are going to hit the road and head down there tomorrow. And really looking forward to seeing what this baseball team brings to the table and exactly where they stand when you look at Texas, TCU, and Oklahoma State. And you've got 4 teams right there, all ranked in the top 25. Really kind of setting the tone for the season.
Alyssa, what constitutes a successful baseball trip for these 3? What do we need to do as is it winning all 3 games? What do you like to see out of these 3 games for this baseball team?
Yeah, best case scenario is win them all. And even if there are hiccups here and there, being able to kind of battle through that adversity and winning it all, I think that's best case scenario. But I think success is measured if you can win 2 out of 3, or even if you just win 1 out of 3, but the other 2 were competitive, and saying, okay, this is where the pitching staff is sharp. They're on top of things. Got a little bit, one thing here or there got kind of, underneath them, and they lost a game. But if they're competitive and play good baseball but still lose, I'm still happy with that and where they can go from there.
I want to see that the team can hit, because I expect it to be a really solid pitching staff, and you're going to end up facing the kind of pitching from these Big 12 schools that you very well could see in the SEC. Look, I think the SEC. I mean, it's unquestioned. It's the best conference in college baseball. The Big 12 is not that far off. I mean, it's a really good conference, and they've got some arms, all 3 of those teams. And you very well may see, look, I mean, Arkansas's played Texas in the postseason recently. They've played TCU, Oklahoma State in the postseason. And some of it is a little bit of the same kind of pitching that you're going to see across the Southeastern Conference. So, the wild thing, though, is that so you have this kind of competition to start the season, and it's not like you're getting a bunch of cupcakes for the next month. It's just they're not SEC teams. And then you're back against the same kind of competition in a month. So, sometimes you don't know what the first weekend of the season means, because you get 14 more weeks after that.
Yeah, you do. And but it's always good to see them competitive right off the bat. And I think that just makes fans feel better, right? Like they win, they played well. I feel better. No one doubts Dave Van Horn and what this team looks like is right now is not what they're going to look like at the end. Or, we understand baseball is a lot of games. It's a long season. But I think the confidence with this baseball program, just from a fan standpoint, if nothing else, is you go down there, you look competitive, you win some baseball games against really good teams, even though they aren't SEC teams. That makes you feel comfortable come SEC time. Okay, we can hang in this league. We can be competitive in this league. We could win the SEC West, stuff like that. So I just think it's just a really good confidence boost for the fan base and for the team, the way that they perform this weekend.
Alyssa, you're a real baseball fan. You grew up, rooting for the Orioles. I think you're the real thing when it comes to being a baseball fan. So I want to ask your opinion about some of these rules changes, not the college rules changes, but in the majors. No shift, pitch clock, being strict with that pitch clock, larger bases, ghost runner at second base in the 10th inning, which I don't land. That's the only one that I kind of criticize. I'd like to see that in the 12th inning. But as somebody who loves the game, I wonder your opinion on these rules changes.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. You talk about, I think the shift, the first things first. It's no secret to anybody as a Dodgers fan. They do it a lot, and they've been doing it for a really long time. They were one of the first teams in Major Leagues to do that shift. And so now, looking at from Dave Roberts' point of view, how are you adjusting your defense if you can't do that? That's, I think, the biggest thing from my team's point of view. How is that going to affect things? Because you're back to playing traditional defensive baseball again, and not just using analytics to determine if you can get a guy out before he even steps into the batter's box, just based on where he hits the ball percentage-wise. You kind of get back to that old traditional baseball, so I don't hate that. But it's going to change a lot with the analytical world of baseball we live in. The ghost runner on second, I'm a traditionalist. I really didn't like it when they did it in 2020. And so, yeah, I could do without that one.
Well, traditionalists don't like the pitch clock because of the timeless nature of the sport. I love the pitch clock.
Yeah.
I watched enough minor league games in person.
The game does need to be quicker.
Yeah. And look, the way the game was played in the 50s, in the 60s, in the 70s, without a pitch clock, and the 80s too, was played faster than it is now. So it's really just a matter of, all right, you guys aren't going to go quicker, so we're going to force you to go quicker.
Yeah. Yeah, the games are getting longer and longer. I mean, we can make that argument right now in college basketball. These games used to be 2 hours, and now they're 2.5, 2:30. They're longer games, and just sports in general need to look at how we can kind of quicken these things up a little bit.
Well,
so I'm in favor of that.
Yeah, these officials, they use it as a crutch. They use this
Oh my
under
God.
2 minutes. Yeah, and then it just the last 2 minutes takes a half an hour.
Yeah, speed it up.
I'm good with speeding it up, and I think we got to speed the show up. So we'll end our talk right here. Alyssa, appreciate you. Thank you. I know we'll be talking soon.
Absolutely. See ya.
Thanks, Alyssa.
Alyssa Orange, Pig Trail Nation, joining us every Wednesday right about this time on Halftime.
I'm jealous. They're going to Arlington, a girls' trip, going around, just hanging out. I mean, bachelorette party. Come on, I mean, when's our bachelorette party? You know, like when me, you, and Matty T hitting the road.
Got to get you guys to come on a baseball trip with me.
Man, right?
That's what we need to do.
That'd be cool.
Bachelor party, we could do
I'm
it.
sorry.
As far as that's concerned. For us, we could go find some bachelorette parties to hang out with. I don't know. I don't know if that's the thing you might be into or not. 877-377-6963 to get with us on our call or a text on Halftime, and much more coming up after the break.
Thank you, Arkansas, for making us the #1 store.
Ryan, what better way to celebrate during the President's Day sales event?
That's right, Joe. We've got 1.9% right now on 2022 Gladiator Rubicon.
And Ryan, don't forget about the Ram 1500s. We have 0% financing on select models. So for all your new Ram, Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, make that beautiful drive to Heber Springs during the President's Day sales event.
Or check us out on the web at RedRiverDodge.com. And Red River, we deliver.
While most of us are familiar with the opioid epidemic, we forget about the threat we faced for decades, methamphetamine. Meth is our biggest drug threat, and the number of people dying each year continues to grow. It's destroying our communities. You know, you've seen it. It might not have been your kid or your parent, but it was someone you know. To find ways to help, go to meovermeth.org. Choose your community. Choose your family. Choose yourself. I choose me over meth.
This message is sponsored by the North Arkansas Partnership for Health Education and the Me Over Meth grant.
The biggest and best selection of brand new 22 and 23 Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford. The 22 F-150. Get a $1,000 rebate and 1.9% financing for 60 months. Ford Bronco Sports, 3.9% for 60 months or 5.9% for 72 months. Plus Mach-E Mustangs, Escapes, and more are ready today with special offers. The best selection of new Fords is at Harry Robinson's Salisal Ford, 1 mile south of exit 308 off of I-40 in Salisal.
If you are involved in a divorce or custody case, you want an attorney you can trust to guide you through the process. The attorneys at Hickey and Hole Law Partners have over 7 decades of combined experience. Hickey and Hole have seen and heard nearly every scenario you can imagine, ready to put that experience to work for you to get the best results. Visit kevinhickeylaw.com or give them a call today to schedule your consultation. Hickey and Hole Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment, not having enough home time, feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit patriottransport.com to apply. That's patriottransport.com.
At Southern Tire Mart, we look out for you and your vehicle. Come visit us for America's most trusted brands like Michelin Tires and top-of-the-line service. You can depend on Southern Tire Mart and Michelin Tires to keep you rolling. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart, just off I-540 exit 14 in Fort Smith, for Michelin tires that fit your needs and service that cares for you like family.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Come get you some. 2728 Townsend Avenue is your off-road and performance center headquarters. They've got everything from lift kits, wheels, LED light bars, UTV parts and accessories, winches and tires. Need general 4x4 repair? No problem. Come Get You Some has one of the largest 4x4 shops in the States. They do it all, from installing a bug shield to building some of the baddest off-road machines in the country. Call them today at 782-6833. That's 782-MUD. Or check them out online at cgysoffroad.com. Come get you some.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey!
The winter never comes. In love's ageless, the mothers milk their young. But I can keep running, no, I can keep running. The lost sages hang out by the bar, burn the pages of unwritten memoirs. But I can keep running, no, I can keep running. How can anybody have you? How can anybody have you and lose you? How can anybody have you and lose you? Not lose their minds too. How can anybody have you? How can anybody have you and lose you? How can anybody have you and lose you? Not lose their minds too.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
What am I listening to here, Matt Jones?
Annie Clark. It's St. Vincent at her best right there, man.
This is a banger, is it not, Matty
Oh,
T?
this one goes hard.
This is the definition of a banger.
This one works for us.
Do you see your boy Kevin Sumlin's going where Dan Enos was? Kind of the cycles going on. So he hadn't coached since 2020.
Miami, no kidding.
Going to
Offensive
Maryland.
coordinator?
Yeah,
Maryland,
Kevin
that's right.
Sumlin. Yeah.
That's where he comes from. All right, how about that? So from A&M head coach, Arizona head coach.
2020 is he was fired in 2020 or let go.
Couple
Yeah.
years off, and now Maryland as the offensive coordinator. Interesting. Very interesting.
He's a quarterback guy, though. Go up there with Tua. I mean, Tua's brother, but he's got 1 year left in there. I mean, I think it'll be a good fit for him.
Well, he coached Johnny Manziel,
Mhm.
and after that, man, it hasn't necessarily been a bunch of.
Why would you go to
bunch of
Arizona,
success.
though? That's not. I mean, Arizona's not a football school.
Could have ended up being the one place that would hire him.
Oh.
That's my only thought.
Fair enough.
Rich Rodriguez ran into problems there. Sumlin ran into problems there.
It's the Pittsburgh Pirates of college football.
Oh, man, I wouldn't want to wish that on anybody. Just be the Pittsburgh Pirates Major League Baseball and be the worst franchise in the sport. Wade's giving us a call, a fan of the Giants. That's a good franchise. How you doing today, Wade?
All right. How's you guys doing?
I'm happy to be alive and talking sports today.
Well, yeah, it's good, nice weather we got. Hey, listen, I'm going to make a bold prediction. I think the Hogs will win tonight, probably by 4 or 5 points, and I think they'll get their confidence. I think they will click tonight. And another thing I wanted to talk about, you were mentioning about the new baseball rules, and I'm 110% behind you, Phil, on the pitching clock. And if in my opinion, I don't know if you agree or not, but you look back at the 60s and 70s, guys like Sandy Koufax, Juan Marichal, another one, Bob Gibson, pitchers like that, they would pitch a complete game. And they didn't have that like we do nowadays about you got your starting pitcher, you got your middle relief pitcher, and your closing pitcher. I mean, that's a lot of time consumed, and that's what I think. A lot of that's going on as far as. And I don't like to sit down and watch 4-hour or 4.5-hour games. I like to get the game speeded up a little bit, like you do, and so I just kind of getting your point of view of that.
Was that Wade, Phil? Was that Kansas City that started that middle reliever stuff where they were bringing a different pitcher out, like the 7th inning, the 8th inning, like 8 years ago when they won the World Series? Did they kind of start that?
Oh, but you saw La Russa do a lot of that
he
stuff
did,
with
okay.
the A's in the 80s and then into the 90s.
Yeah.
Kind of a 1 inning at a time sort of change.
Okay.
That's really where that started, where this started.
Okay. It seemed like it was made popular with Kansas City when they won the World. That's when I first noticed it, I guess, where it was more prevalent.
Well, that's really just become something, I think, in the last 8-9 years where you get your starter to go just the 5 innings and then take it from there. I mean, even in the 80s, I mean, you still had Dave Stewart pitching into the 7th or the 8th inning quite often. You had plenty of pitchers that would still go 6 to 7 innings instead of, and nobody ever used the term opener then too. Think about that. Like I'd be interested to see, Wade, the average time of game when your starting pitcher is just going to go the first inning, and it's basically Johnny Bullpen the whole day.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Wade, appreciate the phone call, man. It's good to hear from you. Always appreciate
hearing from you guys.
877-377-6963. And I feel good about this Arkansas game tonight, too. I mean, I think their pride was hurt on Saturday with a home loss to Mississippi State.
There's no excuses for that, Phil. I mean, we should beat Mississippi State. Doesn't matter if we play them on the moon, anywhere that there's a basketball hoop and the court is measured and you're playing. We should not lose to Mississippi. That should be in. But you should be a little hurt. Your ego. It should start with Coach Musselman. Got out coached and the players got outplayed. So I mean, if you're gonna look at it, that's where it starts. I think all of them should have their ego a little bit hurt and come back and be ready to go against Texas A&M and College Station.
2 home losses, one of them to the number 1 ranked team in the country, Alabama, and the other one to A&M. So, yeah, take that for what it's worth. And by the way, the Aggies are undefeated in conference at home.
It's gonna be a tough game. I like the fact that all the fans and everybody's calling in, liking it, and think we're going to bounce back. I think it's going to be tougher than you think.
Jesse in Springdale texted in asking if we know, and he just hasn't heard, whether or not Nick Smith's knee is thought to be 100% or if he's still dealing with an issue. Didn't look like he was dealing with any issue. There wasn't any limp. He was hopping around, had plenty of energy on Saturday. So, I mean, I'm not his trainer. I can't watch and tell you that he's at 95% or 90%, but he certainly looked okay, didn't he, Matt?
I would think that he's is probably the healthiest guy out there on the squad. He's not banged up. He's had the last 2 months off, and he's just doing a lot of cardio. He looked great, man. If you're just the stat line might not have shown it, but as far as the way he moved, getting up and down the ball, the way he carried himself, the way the teammates interacted together, all the little things, man, he looked exactly like he's supposed to look. And I'm excited. I think you're going to see the biggest jumps from week 1 to week 3. So from game 1 to game 3 is really going to see it. So A&M and then that Florida game, I wouldn't be surprised by Florida, Georgia, if he's dropping 30 in one of these games. So I think you're going to see a big jump tonight, but then that Florida, Georgia game, that 2-game home stretch, before we go to Bama and Tennessee, that's when he's really going to be peaking. So, I mean, if he's healthy, man, it's going to be fun to watch these next 6 games.
Well, I know you were excited to get off the show yesterday and head back home to watch a bunch of Champions League footy. So what do you got going today? Are you doing the same thing today?
Yeah,
or is it
yeah,
just Tuesday?
It's a Tuesday, Wednesday thing. You got Borussia Dortmund versus Chelsea. And so Christian Pulisic's an American that played at Dortmund, then he played at Chelsea. Then you got Bruges versus Leipzig, which neither one of those teams are gonna win it all. Chelsea's won a Champions League. Dortmund and Chelsea, they're domestic. They're not going to win the championship in their league, but they have a chance in this to. I mean, one of them's going to go through. Yesterday, AC Milan takes a 1-0 lead. They go back to Tottenham Hotspurs. That'll be in London, where they'll play March 8th, and then Bayern Munich held the lead 1-0 over PSG. Now Mbappe came on in the second half. Messi did start. Neymar and Messi. Mbappe's that dude, man. You can tell he gets on there. And Bayern didn't know what to do. They're back 4, and PSG created a couple chances. But it's going to be fun. I don't think either one of these two teams playing today have a chance to hold the trophy at the end. But if you're talking about Bayern or PSG, both of those have a chance to win the title.
So how much longer is the Champions League knockout round occurring, and then when is the championship?
So it's a weird it's a weird deal. So March 14th that week I think is the last week for these knockout games. So what they do, there's 16 teams, so you're going to play a home and home. And then March 14th and March 15th will be the last round. And so after that's done, you go into these pods and you go into the ping pong like you go to the NBA draft. And you pick up and it's like so-and-so plays so-and-so, so-and-so plays so-and-so, and you find out. So you don't even know who you're playing. It's a lot like the NFL where it's like you're going to play the lowest remaining seed, stuff like that. So that they'll go through after that. They'll have a drawing, and then you find out where you go next. It's pretty cool.
Well, we'll be getting we'll have to get a Champions League report from you.
Absolutely.
You are as thorough with soccer as I am with baseball, Matt.
My favorite sport, man. I'm a fan of it. It's my favorite sport to be a fan of, where I feel like basketball and football I've done, and I've kind of I know a little bit about it, where soccer I don't know as much. I'm trying to be a student and trying to glean as much information as I can.
JT in Hot Springs was completely confused listening because he didn't know anything about soccer. But JT just used later on today, once the Eastside Liquor Halftime podcast is out, download the podcast on any of the platforms and then play it back at half speed so that you can digest these things a little bit easier. I might need to do the same thing. And we got to get this thing sponsored at some point, because there are people out there that do love soccer that are shocked there's actually
the World Cup's coming this way.
Talking about
it's coming.
The Women's World Cup coming this summer.
Yeah, and I forgot to tell you, I talked to Jonathan Wardlaw, probably saying his name wrong, but he's the head of the Little Rock Rangers. He's so if you know, but I had him on the show, so we'll try to get him on once the season gets going, or somebody from that organization down there. It's the biggest soccer club in the state of Arkansas, the Little Rock Rangers.
Sounds good. Also sounds good, the Greater River Valley RV show going on at Crabtree RV Center starts tomorrow and runs through the 19th. That's at Crabtree RV Center. They're giving you the best prices of the year on their inventory and accessories. There is special sale pricing on every RV on the lot. Crabtree RV Center hosting the Greater River Valley RV show right off I-40 exit 13 next to the Cracker Barrel in Alma. That's where you can explore for your new RV at the Greater River Valley RV Show, also at crabtreerv.com. Hour number 2 to wrap up after this quick break.
A new year means it's time for new work boots, work shoes, safety shoes, casual shoes, fishing shoes, hiking boots, and cowboy boots. Gelco Outdoors has the largest selection and the best brands, ready to make your feet feel happy in the new year. Crappie fishermen, Gelco is stocking up for the spring season. Come check out the gear. 50% off clothing on the clearance rack, loaded with New Year savings. Gelco Outdoors, your store for work and the great outdoors. 4600 South Zero in Fort Smith.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind everyone to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I'd also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify.
The homestead tax credit can save you up to $375 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor. Save big when you shop at Metters Lumber True Value and get great deals during our home improvement sale. Pick up a 3-piece brush set by Master Painter for only $13.99. That's $5 off the original price. Upgrade your home's lighting with a 2-pack of GE's Direct Connect smart bulbs for only $23.99. Get $17 off Master Mechanic 20-volt cordless drill kit. Head over to Metters Lumber True Value and take advantage of these prices while supplies last.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
It's a new year. Why not put a new-to-you vehicle in your driveway? Road Chevrolet wants to buy your vehicle today, and that means you can get out of your old ride and into a great car, truck, or SUV from Road Chevrolet. In fact, trucks starting at only $14,482. Yeah, trucks starting at $14,482. Find new roads. Road Chevrolet, just off I-540 exit 2A Van Buren. Prices you'll love, people you can trust.
Watch every Hog game this season at Joe's Grill and Cantina, your home for half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. With TVs all around the restaurant, you'll have a front row seat for all the action. Half-price appetizers like Joe's Sampler Platter, Ballpark Nachos, 10-layer dip, brisket nachos, and Mexican pizza. And ask about Joe's tailgate packages to make your football experience even better in the comfort of your home. Half-price apps and taps for every Hog game at Joe's Grill and Cantina, 3400 South 74th Street, across from Harps.
Greece is cheap.
But the airfare costs a fortune.
Paris?
Not much closer, and again, airfare...
What about Puerto Vallarta?
Let's face it, flying anywhere is just too expensive.
Wait, what's this? Low-cost airlines.
With one call to low-cost airlines, you'll drastically slash your travel costs. We're talking insanely low airline prices to any of your favorite destinations. Where would you like to go? London, Rome, Costa Rica, Australia?
Wow, that's cheap.
So why wait? Call now to learn how crazy cheap it is to fly anywhere in the U.S. or international. Our prices are so low, we can't publish them. The only way to get them is to call to instantly hear the most amazing best deals on airline travel. It's that easy. So call now and start packing.
800-311-2199. 800-311-2199. 800-311-2199. That's 800-311-2199.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Everybody else having fun. Well, I don't miss much if it happens on the dance hall floor. Mercy, look what just walked through that door. Well, hello, T-R-O-U-B-L-E. Tell me what in the world you doing, L-O-N-E. Yeah, I say, hey, good L-O-O-K-I-N-G. Well, I smell T-R-O-U-B-L-E.
You're listening to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Want to jump in the conversation? Call or text into Halftime at 877-377-6963. Now, here's Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
There's a restaurant in Tinton Falls, New Jersey, not too close to us here in Arkansas, named Nettie's House of Spaghetti. It gets the $3 signs when you look them up on Facebook, so I guess it's somewhat expensive. They have banned children younger than 10 years old inside their restaurant on a Facebook post from a few days ago, and you can imagine they've already had to turn off the comments from that. And it's gone both ways. I know a lot of people that absolutely despise eating at a restaurant if there are kids present. It depends on the kid, but I guess in this situation at Nettie's House of Spaghetti, just imagine there might have been some spaghetti thrown around.
Can't you
quite
do
often.
So I remember growing up, Phil, and I'm probably one of the last ones. I know you do, but you had a smoking section and a non-smoking section. Can't you have a section where it's like, look, this is the kids section and this is the adult section? Where if you got kids and want to do it, man, just go put them like 4 blocks down the road away from the kitchen where the grown folk can enjoy their dinner.
Or you can do it like you see at airports. They have a smoking room. Where it's like you can barely look inside the windows because it's incredibly smoky. But why not have a room that's just for adults that have brought their kids as well?
And some earplugs, exactly, when you walk in there because they're all.
But here's the
around.
other aspect of this. Look at this from the other side too. So they're blaming. I mean, they're not blaming kids in this sense. But who takes their children to a restaurant and allows them to act like total idiots? I mean, I've got 2 kids. They're fairly well behaved, but they're still kids.
We wouldn't be going out. My parents, if we were doing that, Phil, we wouldn't be going out to eat for 6 months. That would be the thing. Be like, that's the last time I take y'all animals anywhere. Yeah.
I just kind of thought, I mean, a place that's named the House of Spaghetti would have been like sort of geared towards kids. But it looks like it's actually, I wouldn't say the word fancy, but a nice Italian restaurant. You just don't want to have some eggplant parmesan thrown around the room or kids screaming at the top of their lungs. I mean, their Facebook post says between noise levels, lack of space for high chairs, those are the little kids with the high chairs, cleaning up crazy messes, and the liability of kids running around the restaurant. Who is letting their children run around a 3 or 4 star restaurant here?
Maddie T, you were just on the cruise. Did they have a kids section, like an adult section and kids section?
They did have a separate adult section called the Serenity Deck, where you could go up there and you didn't have to deal with all the little kids. Yep.
Serenity
so they
now!
did. Yes, that's actually where we spent most of our time when we were outside.
Yeah. Did you use my move?
Those folks out there who work in the restaurant industry, if you got any horror stories, 877-377-6963. I love kids, but I can also appreciate the idea that there are some restaurants where you just want to not be interrupted by kids running around a restaurant. And I like what Jesse and Mountain Home texted into us. People could just go back to busting that We'll be back with more halftime after this.
Art's Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Art's and get $1 off. Try Art's Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Art's burgers come with a mound of fresh cut fries, or upgrade to Art's homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Call Ted McAvoy in Van Buren or Chris Dooley in Fort Smith.
Precision Overhead Door features the finest quality materials, installation, and service for all of your overhead door needs. Fully licensed and insured, with locations in Rogers and Fort Smith, serving all of Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. Give them a call today at 844-PDS-DOOR or online at PrecisionDoorNWA.com. Back-to-back winners of the Best of Award, Gold Best Garage Company in Northwest Arkansas, and also winners of the River Valley Precision Overhead Door.
Where can you get RV show pricing without the RV show crowd? Breen RV in Van Buren. This month only, we are paying your sales tax on all 22 trailers in stock. Save thousands from Forest River, Coachman, Keystone, and Thor. Don't worry about payments for 90 days. Get free maintenance for life and all of your state's sales tax paid at Breen RV. Check out the new Sunray that weighs less than 2,000 pounds. Don't wait until spring. Come by Breen RV today and let us show you how easy it is to buy a new or used RV.
It's Tango Day, everybody. Follow after me and step and back and slide and dip. That's tango.
Why is Ice-T leading our tango class?
It's probably the heart-shaped Honey Nut Cheerios. He found out they can help lower cholesterol. Now he's having fun taking care of his heart in all sorts of new ways.
Let's see those hips move, people.
Hurry and get your heart-shaped Cheerios. They're only here for a limited time.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies. It won't be as cool. Our high this afternoon into the lower 70s. An increase in the cloud cover tonight. Could see a few showers, possibly a few thunderstorms, mid-30s north, low 40s south. And then partly sunny, much cooler on Thursday. I'm Sally Russell with the forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
The weather is brought to you by Carco Auto Sales. Give them a call at 783-1722 or check them out online at buyfromcarco.com.
From the Bushlight Studios, this is ESPN 95.3, KERX Paris, Fort Smith.
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
Broadcasting on ESPN Arkansas and streaming on hitthatline.com.
We got a good one tonight. You got a team in here that doesn't respect you.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
Don't ask me if I'm all right. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it.
We're going to go get one and celebrate on somebody else's field.
Matt Jones may take it to the house and the dunk.
You said you had very motivational words at halftime.
It's halftime with Phil Olsen and Matt Jones. Produced by Matt Travis.
Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I put my heart, dog. Let's go, man!
Probably as frustrated as I've been the first half.
Do we believe?
Second half, very happy.
Is vintage Matt Jones. Hold the rope! Hold the rope! Hold the rope! 1, 2, 3! 1, 2, 3! Turn that back, your
Now, here's Phil Olsen and Matt Jones.
Into the third hour of halftime. Phil Elson, Matt Jones, Matt Travis. Calls and texts come in at 877-377-6963. We discussed briefly about the restaurant in New Jersey that is banning kids. What about banning customers that don't tip? Kids don't tip. They don't know how to tip. Maybe that'd be the right direction to go at it. Jody and Harrison. Well, I don't want to say that text at the moment now. You don't want me to say his name, so let's forget about that for a moment. 3 days from baseball. 3 days from Razorback baseball season. Who's your number 3 today, Matt Jones?
Al Dillard. Everybody that's an Arkansas Razorback fan knows that Al Dillard, he was one of those guys that growing up, you know, I was 3rd grade, 5th grade when he was playing, so you remember, man, he had unlimited range. Number 3, those baggy shorts. He was, and then another number 3, the answer, Allen Iverson, who, in my opinion, is the best basketball player ever in the history of NBA under 6 foot. Like if you're gonna do a list, he
was my favorite. I loved watching AI.
He was a whole deal. He was a whole vibe. He was a whole movement too. Just like we were talking about, Jordan was an icon. Iverson had his moment in the sun too, where he was just a whole vibe for sure.
I got a chance to watch him. He only played 1 year, I think, at Georgetown, right?
One or two. It might have been like a little half year or something, kind of like what Joe Johnson did. I'd have to go back and look, but John Thompson had him. He kind of had that. He came from the same place Randy Moss came from, and kind of got in a fight before. And
he was a great football player, too.
All-state quarterback. Yeah. He was Michael Vick before Michael Vick, if you go back and look at it. Yeah.
Got a chance to watch him play against Pitt at the Civic Arena. We had floor seats. I don't think I've ever seen anybody that fast, especially on the court where they just look faster anyway. That was amazing. And I got a chance to watch him play in Cleveland his rookie year, and he scored over 50. Guy was a walking bucket. That's one of the best players to never win an NBA title.
One of my favorite, absolute, just you talk about players that you would pay price of admission to go watch. Rajon Rondo was one of those. Kobe Bryant was one of those. Allen Iverson's one of those guys where I'd pay $50, $100 a ticket if I knew he was coming to town just to go watch that dude play. That's how fun he was.
Well, I mentioned 3 days until the baseball season starts at 3. We count today. So today, tomorrow, and then Friday. So you still have to wait until 7 o'clock at night on Friday for the real start of the baseball season. So we'll go with 3 as far as that's concerned today. The pitching rotation has been announced, so we do know that. That is the one thing I know. I thought at the start of the season that, well, not the start of the season, but the start of the year, that Hagen Smith would be the Friday starter. It seemed the more you heard Dave and Matt Hobbs talk about it, that Jackson Wiggins would have been penciled in for Friday, and then Smith maybe for Saturday, and then a Will McIntyre for a Sunday. But with the injury to Wiggins, they've changed it up. And I still think that if you didn't have two lefties in that starting rotation, that you would have ended up with McIntyre on a Sunday. And I think part of why Holland is starting Sunday is I think he's really tough on lefties. Oklahoma State has a lot of left-handed hitters, and that could be a reason why. And you don't want to have, necessarily, unless you got two lefties in a row on a Friday and a Saturday. It does make quite a bit of sense. One thing I'm not aware of, and I got to check on this, is whether or not they'll be using the bigger bases for this weekend at Globe Life Field. I'm assuming that the same size base that the NCAA uses would still fit into the peg at Globe Life Field, where you stick those bases in. So I don't know if they're going to be using – I've asked the question to Dave Van Horn, so I'm waiting on the answer of that. But I just assumed that they'd be using NCAA bases. But then we got a text yesterday from a listener that had seen somewhere online that a game played at a major league stadium in college baseball could still use the bigger bases. So I'm not quite sure exactly how that's going to work for this weekend. So the college baseball is not undergoing all the rules changes yet that Major League Baseball is instituting. You can still shift in college baseball. In fact, Ole Miss, they don't shift very much, but they shift now. They're going to shift this year. Mike Bianco talked about that earlier in the new year, that they're going to be shifting their infield. And you can't do that in the majors. So, that's a major difference between the two levels of the game.
Is it a safety thing, Phil, for making the bases 15 inches to 18 inches?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's a major part of it is safety, but I think it also shortens the base path. If the base is
absolutely
larger,
does, right?
It shortens the base path by like 3 inches. So you're not really running 90 feet. You're running more like, I don't know, like maybe 88 feet or 89 and a half feet or something like that.
I'm putting that mitten on my hand if I'm stealing bases and give me 3 extra inches.
Mitt.
Yeah, man, give me 3 extra right there too and slide right on in.
So it shortens the distance between the bases, which also theoretically gives more leeway to the runner to try to steal a base. That's what they're trying to do in Major League Baseball. I heard a quote. And it was too
get
long
some little
to
more
play.
Action going because it does kind of get
exactly right.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. Theo Epstein was talking about this. I heard a quote. It was more 2 minutes long, so it was too long to play on the show. But he's talking about, and he's saying fans want this, fans want that. I think what we've lost a little bit in base, not a little bit, but a lot, is something that made the game special, which are the quick twitch muscles between the bases and fielders making great plays. You try to hit the ball over the shift all the time. And if you're going to try to hit home runs, then you're not worried about if somebody's on second base or if they're on first base. It doesn't matter. The value of those 27 outs doesn't change. But if it's a shorter distance between first and second base and a single still brings the guy home and there's more room on the infield now to hit, then I think you're going to see more stolen base attempts. You saw it in the minor leagues last year. They made the rule last year for the minor leagues. I think you're going to see it this year too.
I certainly hope so. I love seeing athletes be athletes, and when they get that opportunity to still swipe a bag, go get it, man. It's fun. The challenge, the game, just the cat and mouse with the pitcher and the catcher and the second baseman, shortstop, everything that goes along with it, getting to go out of the stretch. And even when you get to second base, I know stealing third's not as – it's valuable, but it's just not as prevalent. Like people don't try to steal third as much. It's because of the throw's shorter from catcher to third.
The throw's shorter, but you can get a larger lead off second base.
Yeah.
You can get a bigger secondary lead. So in some people's mind, it's easier to steal third base because you can get farther off of second base. And in the majors, you can only do the 2 pickoff throws. That's it. And if you try third and you don't pick the guy off, it's a balk and he gets to the next base. And I'll talk about balks in a little bit because I think there's going to be a crazy year for balks too in Major League Baseball, which means more ejections. And that's another thing that Major League Baseball has been missing a little bit, the ejections. Ejections are fun, right? They are entertaining. But on the other hand, if I'm talking about it's fun to watch arguments and ejections, they slow the game down. So it also works a little bit against the idea to try to speed the game up. College baseball, you can have as many pickoff attempts as you want. But what the difference is, what you can't do any longer, more than once. Remember you'd see last year the pitcher stepping off the rubber and doing the fake pick throw, sometimes 2 or 3 times an at-bat. They can only step off once or do the fake pick move once. And all that did was reset the pitch clock. That's what I mean. They're really going to be strict about the pitch clock this year. 20 seconds to be in your motion pitching, and you got to be in the batter's box ready to hit at 10 seconds. And you only get 2 minutes between innings now. Pitching coach visits are 30 seconds and no longer than that. So I think you're still going to see. What did I read in Whole Hog today? I think Matt Jones reported there were 4 or 5 4-hour Razorback baseball games, and I think you'll still see 1 or 2. But I think it'll noticeably speed that game up. And you're not going to get back to the part of at least Major League Baseball where you're going to get 100 steal guys. I think that era of baseball is gone. I think you may see somebody
make them
with 50
uncomfortable
steals this year.
I like it. Make the defense uncomfortable. Get them to make an error. Just don't let them sit. It's kind of like using motion in offense for a play you saw the Kansas City Chiefs use. Make them think. Make them react. Make them have to. Just don't make it so easy for them.
JT asked if Twinkle Toes is playing for Oklahoma State this weekend. Twinkle Toes would be Rock Riggio, their second baseman, who's a really good ball player, but man. He likes himself some him.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he had the frosted lettuce during the regional, but the entire team had the frosted lettuce too. But he had I think it was the worst home run trot that I've ever seen in my life, where he literally, this is why he's being called Twinkle Toes by JT. He literally danced around
like ballerina.
The bases.
Yeah,
sort of exactly like that. I mean, it was entertaining to the Oklahoma State fans. It was. And then the next time, he sprinted around the bases to try to make a point. And then when push came to shove in the championship game of that regional, Higgins Smith struck him out. And there wasn't any dancing back to the dugout after that. Yes, he'll be there. He's their big guy. I think Riggio may be a future major leaguer. He's really, really good. You don't have to like him, but you do have to respect the game a little bit. Also got to remind you about the sign-up event right now for Wave Rural Connect for anybody that lives inside the city limits of Charleston, Arkansas. If you hate your high-priced garbage internet, trash that internet for something that's much better. It's Wave Rural Connect. They have fast rural internet right now available to you. You can go to the Charleston Community Center at 311 Freedom Road. That's 311 Freedom Road today, right now through 5:30. You get over there, you sign up, and you get great internet. It won't take much time at all. It's also a lot easier to go online. Sign up, .waveruralconnect.com. They'll take care of you right there. We're going to talk with Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio next on Halftime.
Too sentimental, your best bet's true, baby blue continental, hot funk, cool punk, even if it's old junk, it's still rock and roll to me. Oh, it doesn't matter what they say in the papers, 'cause it's always been the same old scene. There's a new lane in town, but you can't get the sound from a story in a magazine. Ain't got your average team. And a bright orange pair of pants.
The pitch is coming, swinging a fly ball to left field, hit pretty well. Going back is Napolitan, that ball's gone! That's a grand slam home run! Brady Toops just hit a grand slam home run! And the Razorbacks have taken the lead! Oh my goodness! Brady Toops just hit a grand slam home run!
Listen to every Razorback baseball game on ESPN 95.3 and hitthatline.com.
Hello, this is Sebastian County Assessor Zach Johnson here to remind everyone to assess your personal property by May 31st to avoid late penalty. You can do this in person at one of our 3 locations, over the phone, or online by going to www.countyservice.net. I'd also like to remind any current homeowners or individuals buying their homes on contract to contact our office and check on your eligibility for the homestead tax credit. Contact us today to see if you qualify.
The homestead tax credit can save you up to $375 off your tax bill.
This ad sponsored by the Sebastian County Assessor.
And we're back with breaking news. Coke Zero Sugar might be the best Coke ever.
That's right, Jim. Coke Zero Sugar is a must-try for any Coke fan, so make sure you... Jim. Jim. We're on the air.
Ooh, yes, this tastes like the best Coke ever to me. Your thoughts, Jen?
Well, can I have a sip?
Jen, we're in the middle of reporting the news. I need to try it first.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Where can you get RV show pricing without the RV show crowd? Breen RV in Van Buren. This month only, we are paying your sales tax on all 22 trailers in stock. Save thousands from Forest River, Coachman, Keystone, and Thor. Don't worry about payments for 90 days. Get free maintenance for life and all of your state sales tax paid at Breen RV. Check out the new Sunray that weighs less than 2,000 pounds. Don't wait until spring. Come by Breen RV today and let us show you how easy it is to buy a new or used RV.
Congratulations, you're having a little girl.
At that moment, everything changed. Our hopes and dreams for ourselves were instantly replaced by our hopes and dreams for her. We got life insurance policies from Shelter Insurance, so that regardless of what life throws at us, we'll still be able to provide the world to her.
Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
Call Randy Milam in Alma or Brandon Zimmerman in Barley. Do you need an attorney that you can actually speak with? You need Hickey & Hull Law Partners. The attorneys at Hickey & Hull understand the importance of client communication and are taking the time to meet you, respond to emails, and return calls. Every case is important, and they strive to give each one the time and attention it deserves. Call today or visit them online at kevinhickeylaw.com to set your consultation. Hickey & Hull Law Partners. Things are about to get better.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
and left me in my stately home, blazing on a sunny afternoon. And I can't sail my yacht, he's taken everything I got. All I've got's this sunny afternoon.
Welcome back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones. Got a question or comment for the guys? Give them a call or send them a text at 877-377-6963. Let's get back to the show with the voice of Arkansas Razorback baseball, Phil Elson, and Razorback football legend Matt Jones.
Get a chance to talk with Bill King from Nashville Sports Radio every Wednesday around this time. He is the king of college football talk, hosting 6 to 9 on WNSR. Bill, the football season is officially over at the end of the Super Bowl now, and spring ball's approaching. The baseball season is fast upon us now. I read where Tim Corbin spoke about Vanderbilt maybe piggybacking pitchers instead of going with a usual three-man starting rotation this upcoming weekend. Does Vandy have to worry about pitching right now?
Well, other than the true freshman that they got out of Georgia, who's a fantastic lefty, I think it's a question mark. Now they've got some young arms that they like, and the McIlvain kid they started last year played at the high school where my kids went, and he throws 93, 94, but he's not a Friday night guy at all, and so they've taken a step back. Now that lefty kid is fantastic. I'd play him against anybody, but yeah, that could be an issue. And remember, they didn't hit the ball well last year either. Enrique Bradford, their leadoff guy, is wonderful. You could say he might be the best leadoff hitter in college ball, but they didn't hit the ball up and down that roster very well last year either.
I was wondering about this because, college baseball isn't doing the rules changes that Major League Baseball is just yet. But can you imagine Bradfield in college baseball only allowed 2 pickoffs from the pitcher? Like the kid would steal 150 bases in 150 tries. You might as well just put him on second base if he gets a walk.
Yeah, that kid he's as good a base stealer. And I will admit, I don't have a long college baseball history like college football, but he's the best base stealer that I've seen in college ball.
Well, we've certainly had some interesting things happen even in the last 24 hours in college football. Georgia loses offensive coordinator Todd Monken to the Baltimore Ravens and then bring Mike Bobo back on for a second go-around. What'd you think of this?
Well, everybody knew that's what they were going to do. That was in place and had always been agreed upon. So from that standpoint, it's not surprising. He'd been there before. I remember, covering his games when he was quarterback there in the mid-'90s. I remember a very interesting Georgia-Tennessee game in Knoxville between him and Peyton Manning, and Georgia probably should have won that game. They didn't. Peyton Manning led Tennessee to a win late, but he's been a pretty solid coordinator. And I know his Colorado State years were not the best as a head coach, and he was at Auburn and South Carolina. That didn't go so well. But look, first of all, the entire blueprint is Kirby Smart's. And no, maybe he doesn't have the X's and O's depth that Modkin had, but look, he's working with Georgia talent. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
Bill, always love having you on the show. A guy that I like is Coach Kevin Sumlin. I've been a big fan of his for years, and I know he's at Arizona, and it's kind of been out of the – I don't know what he's been doing the last couple of years, but I think it's a good fit for him at Maryland. Do you think this is a deal, Bill, where he's going to go to Maryland, be an OC, and maybe that's what he's going to be the next 20 years of his career, or do you think he's trying to get back into being a head coach somewhere? And how does he fit Maryland?
He's made so much money, whether it's on the job or getting paid when they fired him at A&M, owed him a fortune, obviously. So
he's doing it because he likes it, is what you're saying, yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of coaches are like that. They coach. So I don't think it's okay, I need to be a head coach because I need to get $6-7 million again. I mean, he's got probably unlimited money as it is. But I think he could settle in as a coordinator. I mean, look, he's getting on up there. He's not old, but he's getting on up there. This game is a mental torture chamber for a head coach. All the stuff you're dealing with, and it's never going to get better. At least that you have to plan on it not getting better. And I think the comfort level of making probably low seven figures, being the coordinator and not having all those headaches come to your desk can be appealing.
That's a good point because it makes it simple, man. He gets to watch ball, coach ball, and that's what he's doing. He's not doing all the hoopla. Yeah,
don't have to do the media. You don't have to do the media talk, the press conferences, the coaches show.
It's more personal with the players.
Think about it. If Johnny Five Star's pouting because of NIL and it's not enough, that's not his problem.
Mm-hmm.
I'm interested. That's interesting. But then again, I mean. Sometimes the dumbest person in the world is an offensive coordinator after a poor game on a Saturday, but the next week he's the smartest person in the world. It's like, so, you know, and they're the first to get fired too. Although I guess in how long has Loxley been at Maryland?
He's been there, about 5 years, approximately. Yeah, he left Alabama, and tell you what, that's it. That place is a gold mine. If anybody, I think we've discussed this, but if anybody ever just said, I'm going to totally own that stretch of real estate, that eastern seaboard, the Carolinas, up through Virginia, further east in the D.C. area, you could go play anybody, anytime, and win. And say, George, I'm looking you right in the eye. I'm as good as you are. You could do that. But nobody's been able to lasso that whole area.
It's interesting to look at that area, too, because you've got, like, Virginia Tech, Virginia, and Maryland. Virginia Tech and Virginia are in the same league. Maryland, of course, is in the Big Ten. I guess I'd never thought necessarily about that area, but then you and I just talked about Allen Iverson, who was from
area.
In that exact area. And
a lot of talent.
Virginia Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, I'm telling you guys, any player, any size, any ability level, any position is all through there. In plentiful, in abundance. And remember, Virginia Tech went on a long run where they were a national threat, right? I mean, they were a top 10 threat, if not better.
That defense had athletes everywhere. Yeah.
Oh, no question. And obviously they've lost that touch. And a lot of that would be the recruiting from that region, up and down through there. Somebody, I don't know, but if somebody ever has the ability to be the top sales guy through that area, I'm telling you, you got a roster as good as any big boy on the block. You can go fight any bully on the beach.
I don't know if we've spoken to you since the announcement about Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC. Was that a week ago that happened, or was that more like a few days? Will Sark and Venables be the head coaches of those teams once they make it to the SEC? It's just another 2 seasons or another 1 season.
Yeah, 1 season. I would say, yeah, if you said, Bill, you have to bet on it. I would say, yeah, it would take a total implosion. And let's face it, Venables year 1 wasn't very good. Sark's been kind of, I think, what do we say? I give him about a C minus, his tenure there. But I think it would have to be an implosion. It would have to be, okay, it's collapsed, and we know we're going to have to fire him. Why wait? You'd have to be to that moment for them not to get to year 1 in 24.
Yeah, we were kind of talking about what are they going to do? Is it going to be divisions? Are they going to make it like the Big Ten where you might only have 3 permanent opponents? What are your thoughts on how they're going to divide the SEC up? Is it going to be East and West, or is it just going to be SEC?
No, divisions will die. Now, they haven't formally stood up at a press conference, but yes, divisions will die. They'll have some kind of pod system. Each team will have 3 permanent opponents and then rotation throughout the league after that. And so Arkansas, their 3 could be just, and again, this is just speculation, LSU,
Missouri, Oklahoma, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. You don't want 3, and of course in the future you never know, but you don't want 3 killers, right? You want, maybe 2 and 1 or 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
For example, the speculation here is Tennessee, Alabama, because you don't want to separate them. And then Tennessee gets South Carolina and Kentucky or Vandy. Well, you'll do that. I'll take that.
It's going to be interesting to see how that all works out. I'm not a fan of the 3 permanent and rotate. I'd much rather have 7 permanent, and I definitely like the divisions a little bit, but it'll work out, and I think that when you're having 12 playoff teams, it gives you a chance to get more teams into the playoffs when you do it this way.
Okay, think about this. Since there will be no divisions, that means the 2 teams with the best winning percentage will play in the SEC championship game, which means you could have a year with the SEC where 2 teams play 3 times.
Yeah, I think that just opens it up where there's going to be 3 teams in the SEC. I mean, make the final 12 because you're going to have those 2 that play are definitely in. It's just for seeding. And then whoever was third place is probably going to be in there. That would have been, what, Tennessee this year?
Oh, man, this is going to be an annual thing, 3 SEC teams in these final 12. I mean, just put it in pen.
There's going to be 3 SEC teams, yeah.
Right, but what are we going to – I mean, we don't have a choice, but when they match up 3 times, I mean, you can't – there'll be times when you cannot avoid that.
I guess that's never happened, right? Yeah, I mean, you felt – I mean, you could have had Alabama and Georgia, you know, against each other in the regular season with the year that they played in the SEC championship game in the finals, but, I mean, it's never happened before. You're right. I mean, that's like that makes it like the NFL in some ways, which I know is one thing that you're looking to avoid. Speaking of the NFL, what did you think of the Super Bowl and the performances by the 2 quarterbacks? I mean, Mahomes is amazing, but I feel like Jalen Hurts almost won with a loss because of how well he played outside of the fumble. But, man, I mean, I think he won himself a lot of fans.
You guys know I'm a college guy. I'm not a big NFL guy. I don't watch it. I love it. I thought it was a fantastic game. Now, here's what I did. There's a catch. I bet it to stay engaged in it. So I took the over, which was easy, and I took the +1.5 for Kansas City. And I also had another bet. Somebody in the game would catch a ball for 55 yards or longer, which did not happen. But so I stayed engaged, guys, and it was fun. You know, it didn't have me riveted like I love the college game, but and Mahomes and just his crazy arm slots and his athletic ability and probably still a bum ankle. Jalen Hurts, like we talked about, guys, it's at some points at Alabama, I didn't know if he could throw the football. Man, look at it. I mean, it's an amazing story.
Yeah, I was impressed with A.J. Brown, and maybe that's just the receiver in me, but I mean, are the quarter. But that dude was a man. You're speechless watching him play wide receiver.
Well, him and Smitty, I thought
great
between
duo.
him and Devontae Smith, yeah, I would get a 55-yard reception.
Mm-hmm.
I really thought so.
Hey, Bill, before we let you go, Arch Manning was the talk of the last recruiting cycle. Who is the big talk of the recruiting cycle that we're in right now for the next signing period?
You want to know who it is?
Yeah, who's top of the list?
Okay, yeah. If you guys remember, offensive lineman Dominic Raiola played at Nebraska many years as a dominant offensive line. His son is Dylan Raiola, who is the number 1 ranked player in the class of 24 at any position, and he's a quarterback. He was committed to Ohio State about a month or 2 ago, decommitted, and it looks like Georgia's going to get him, adding to that quarterback room. He's very close with some Georgia folks, and right now Georgia is the overwhelming clubhouse favorite to stockpile further that quarterback room, which, by the way, this spring's going to have to, or this fall is going to have to get thinned out because you've got 3 Johnny 4 and 5 stars in there already. If you bring him in next year, yeah, it'll thin out. That'll be a lot of stories for us to talk about.
Hey, we've seen that happen before at Georgia too. We have seen that. We have seen this movie before. Bill, we're up against it. We'll let you go. I appreciate you hopping on with us. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Bill King, Nashville Sports Radio, king of college football talk. Mark in Fayetteville thinks that there'll be multiple SEC football teams in the larger playoff system, similar to how you see 3 SEC teams in Omaha. Heck, sometimes you see 4 teams in the final 8 in the College World Series.
You could see 4, but I think it just opens it up where you're going to have 3 every year. And sometimes, maybe that third place doesn't get a bye, but you might have a better matchup. You're not having to play 1-2 again because it is a war of attrition late in the year.
Now we just have to do like a Big East from, what was it, 85 or 86? 3 out of 4 Final Four teams.
Georgetown and Syracuse all day.
Alabama, Tennessee, Arkansas. How about that? All right, 877-377-6963 for halftime into the home stretch. We'll be right back.
Joe Klein here for Bet Saracen, Arkansas's favorite sports betting app.
You bet it is, Joe, which means Bet Saracen has everything you're looking for and more right there on your cell phone.
Now everyone can get in the game and follow your favorite team.
And that's right on the money. If putting down a little wager makes your favorite game a little more exciting, we'll go to the app stores and download Bet Saracen. We even got a demo video to show you how to play.
Or find it at betsaracen.com.
Hello there. My name is Seychelle, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is the punch of flavors that's unlike any other. You get the crispy tenderness of the chicken and that hint of sourness from the pickles. Ta-da!
Hey, I'm Juan, and what makes the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich original to me is you know you're gonna get chicken that's crispy, golden, and juicy. This is the gold standard of chicken sandwiches.
Order the original Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich on the Chick-fil-A app today. Real customers paid for their testimonials.
Tommy Kraft here. When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
If you farm, you have enough to worry about without worrying about how much more you're going to owe once your current variable or balloon interest rate increases. Interest rates are on the rise. This is the time to check out Farm Credit's long-term fixed rate options. Farm Credit offers the longest terms in the ag industry. Long-term fixed rates mean there's no surprises and your payments remain the same for the life of your loan. That's peace of mind in this changing interest rate climate. Find a Farm Credit office near you at myaglender.com.
This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building or welding experience, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay and a $500 sign-on bonus. Join the top fence building team and get a $500 sign-on bonus. The Fence Man. Apply today in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sakhalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Ed Sheeran used to sing in the church choir, but now bad habits reveal his desire.
GreatHouseFixtures.com, located on 0th Street in Fort Smith. Great House Fixtures by J&B Supply.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3. Hey!
96.3 in Hot Springs and
walk-on tryouts, not preferred walk-on stuff. This is real walk-on tryouts on March the 1st. Zach wants you to try to do the Eli Manning thing when he went over to Penn State and try to walk on as Chad Powers.
Oh, yeah.
We just need to get you, Matt, we need to get you a good alias.
That has to be played off Kenny Powers. It has to be a little bit of that, right? So
I think so.
You could do a little bit of that. Stevie Janikowski. Remember sophomore year I wore a cape? Yeah. No, I don't remember you. Yeah.
You'd probably have to shave the mustache and beard off.
I told you if the price is right, we can make that happen. That's if the Yankees want me to play left field for them, or if the NIL's coming on. But until the doctor says so, I don't know.
Matt told us before the show today that he's going to actually be trimming the beard hair a little bit. I hope it's not like Samson, and if you cut the hair off, then you lose some of your superpowers.
Yeah, it's time. It's time. Yeah.
Got too many wings. I saw where Diamond Sports Group is. They have missed a very large payment that was interest only. I think it was like $150 million that they've skipped out on. $140 million interest payment. And this is the ultimate sign that Diamond Sports, which runs all of the Bally Sports networks, which includes, I think, the St. Louis Cardinals play on Bally Sports. They're probably going to be going under. I mean, real bankruptcy. They had $8 billion in debt that they've been grappling with. And this is the Sinclair Broadcast Group. That's the same company that owns KATV in Little Rock, Channel 7. So, I mean, this is a real problem for Major League Baseball. Not only in the idea that a lot of their teams, and the NBA too, and the NHL, they play on the Bally Sports networks, and these are the regional sports networks, but that it's a significant source of revenue for these teams as well. And Major League Baseball has said, yeah, we'll air the games. Somehow, I don't know how they handle it, but they'll air the games. But I just can't imagine that the teams will be getting the payments from the network that they've been expecting, and that's a lot of where some of these contracts come from, man. I mean, they come from, I forget the dollar figure on some of them, but 13, 12-year deals, that kind of thing. I mean, you're banking on millions upon millions of dollars coming from not just Fox and ESPN and Apple and
Turner
YouTube and Turner, but it's the local broadcast networks.
WGN for Chicago. But isn't that how the Braves were able to do that in the 90s? Because they were one of the first teams to have those regional TV deals that gave them a little more money?
Well, that was a little different because TBS and WGN and WOR that ran the Mets are separate from this. These are cable networks. Those were over-the-air TV channels that were free. These are paid TV services. And it's going to, it'll probably take a little bit of time for it to ripple through the finances of Major League Baseball, and I think the NBA, and I think the NHL, but it's going to be a significant problem. And it may end up being a problem for fans, just trying to watch the game. Another thing I saw yesterday involving baseball is that Major League Baseball says they're going to enforce more balks. Balks are boring, but they do lead to more ejections. They lead to more pitchers being ejected, more managers being ejected, more pitching coaches
which we all
being
like.
ejected.
Yeah, we
which
all
can
need
be
some
entertaining, depending on the level of entertainment that the manager's going to give you.
I always love it when they sweep dirt on them with their foot. When they start kicking dirt on their foot, oh, man.
You do that after you've already been ejected.
After you've been tossed, yeah.
That maybe that logs an extra $50 onto the fine. I don't know.
And your boy, I know we talked about this one of the first weeks we did the show, Phil, but he got the rosin bag and he went over there and acted like it was a hand grenade. That was like the funniest thing I've ever seen.
Philip Wellman, my last manager with the Travelers was Philip Wellman, and he never had an ejection like that, but I'll tell you, he had some fun ejections. And doing the play-by-play of a baseball game means you do the play-by-play of the argument too, and the ejection and everything that's
You're there for all of it. Yeah.
That's exactly right. But there are going to be more ejections because there are going to be more balks. The last year I remember the majors, saying, well, we're going to strictly enforce the balk rule. And by the way, there are like 17 different ways for a pitcher or a catcher to commit a balk. And they've added one to it this year because of the pickoff, the limited amount of pickoffs pitchers are allowed. There was 1988, the last time that the big leagues decided to focus more on balks. And they increased the number of balks from 87 to 88 by almost 600. And then the next year, the number of balks dropped by over 500. Now, 924 balks were called in 1988. Ridiculous. You haven't had over 900 balks called in the last 8 years total. So there's going to be a real heavy focus on this for pitchers to come to a stop, to make sure that when they do attempt to pick off, that it's not the balk move with the front foot moving before the back foot is off the rubber, and all the other arcane ways that pitchers can commit a balk. So, and then there's the idea that they also have to, like in college ball, you have 20 seconds to start your motion. In Major League Ball, you actually have to have let go of the ball by then. Like the pitch has to be in the air by the time the pitch clock expires. So, I mean, there's going to be a lot of getting used to it, which means there's going to be more arguments and more ejections. So I'm just interested in that because I'm always interested in Major League Baseball rules, and I do think this going to be good. Razorback basketball tonight, 8 o'clock tip, 7:30 air. It's on ESPN2, also right here on ESPN Arkansas and hitthatline.com. Get over to Joe's Grill and Cantina to watch it today because you'll get half-price apps and half-price taps during the game. Same on Saturday when the Hogs are back on the hardwood. Same tomorrow when the women's basketball team battles the University of Tennessee. Joe's Grill and Cantina's got a front row seat no matter where you're sitting, plus all your favorite apps and beers that are half price during the game. Joe's Grill and Cantina at 3400 South 74th in Fort Smith across from Harps. They're open Tuesday through Saturday. You can go to joesportsmith.com, get a look at the menu and their specials. You can download the Waiter app and put an order in right there as well. Joe's Grill and Cantina. Wrapping halftime up after this quick break.
Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith. Art's Barbecue and Burgers has the best burger in town. And every Saturday, enjoy any burger at Art's and get $1 off. Try Art's Bacon Cheeseburger, topped with house smoked bacon, or the Art Attack with bacon, ham, and a fried egg. And all of Art's burgers come with a mound of fresh cut fries, or upgrade to Art's homemade onion rings. $1 off all burgers every Saturday at Art's Barbecue and Burgers, 8203 Rogers Avenue, next to Aaron's in Fort Smith.
Late breaking news. Central Hydraulics has teamed up with Wacker Neuson to meet your ever-growing equipment needs. Wacker Neuson offers loaders, excavators, skid steers, telehandlers, and more. Central Hydraulics is also your Gates Hydraulic Hose Center. Stop by today at 6104 Highway 271 South in Fort Smith. Central Hydraulics, helping you move the world.
Are you a qualified CDL driver with local or over-the-road experience? Tired of driving older equipment? Not having enough home time? Feel like a number? You need Patriot Transport. Patriot Transport, based in Centerville, with locations in Russellville and Van Buren, provides you with late model equipment, has a family atmosphere, and provides you the opportunity to make $95,000 per year. Patriot Transport works with you to get the miles you want and the family time you need. Change your life today. Visit PatriotTransport.com to apply. That's PatriotTransport.com.
Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company has two locations, 1316 South Zero and 200 South Zero Street in Fort Smith, serving the glass and glazing needs of Fort Smith, Northwest Arkansas, and Eastern Oklahoma, commercial and residential. Tub and shower enclosures, mirrors, glass table, and countertops cut to custom size are just a few services offered by Arkansas Glass and Mirror Company. Arkansas Glass and Mirror stocks laminate glass, plexiglass, Lexan, window glass, and mirror and plate glass. For more information, call 646-4300. That's 646-4300.
Make today more interesting with Betly's online sports betting action. You can bet on pro and college games with Betly, the only online sports book in Arkansas and Tennessee. And right now, every new customer can cash in on a $250 risk-free first bet. Download the Betly Sportsbook app now in the Apple and Google Play Store or visit Betly.com. With Betly, every game matters.
Must be 21 or older and located in Arkansas or Tennessee to bet. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Wheels RV wants you to seek out all the natural state has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off of I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Papa's Pub and Pizzeria is the #1 place to watch every Arkansas basketball game this season. The Hogzilla Specialty Pizza is only $16.99. The Hogzilla Specialty Pizza is made with pulled pork from Newmeyer's Rib Room, sausage, Canadian bacon, pepperoni, crispy bacon, and cheese. Dusted with Newmeyer's Rib Rub. Hop on the Must Bus for every Arkansas basketball game at Papa's. 508 Garrison Avenue in downtown Fort Smith. Papa's Pub and Pizzeria, the best darn pizza in Fort Smith, perhaps the world.
Your home for every Razorback football, basketball, and baseball game. ESPN 95.3.
Hey, Surrey! A key in the door, a step on the floor, a note on the table, and a meal in the micro. Note says on the bed, please make sure that you're fed. If you're taking a shower, you can borrow my bathroom. And when I'm asleep, I dream you're moving next week. I crumple the note and set to put inside my shoebox. It's in with my school stuff and my mom never cleans that from my first little fit when I still wore a bib to my latest attempt at pretending I'm someone who's not 17 and doesn't know what you mean. But talk just a single mom so still to know my shoebox, the shoebox supply.
Make sure to follow Halftime on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. Now back to Halftime with Phil Elson and Matt Jones.
You know, I'm really excited about. I don't get to call the baseball games this weekend, but yesterday, my scorebook came from the printer. It's ready to roll, man. That's right. Made one for me. Made one for Bubba. We've got the pitching ribby. We've got the batting ribby on it. It's got our names. blank scorebook, so it's just feels like the world's my oyster for right now. And I do like oysters, so that felt really good. Here is some sad news, though. Raquel Welch has passed away today. Raquel Welch, one of the, that's on the short list of Hollywood stardom and royalty. Passed away at the age of 82. And there's all kinds of, now I don't remember too much that I've seen her in, though, honestly. I know there was a Seinfeld episode or two. There's a lot of movies that I probably missed during her real heyday in Hollywood. But, she was...
The Three Musketeers.
She was on a lot of teenagers', walls, posters for a long, long time. So... I saw this come across the wire.
She was also in Andy Dufresne's cell in Shawshank Redemption on the poster.
That's exactly right.
How about you, Miss Fuzzy Bridges? Yep. You seen anything either?
You're good at remembering a lot of these movie lines, Matt Jones. Well, R.I.P. to Raquel Welch.
Legally Blonde made a cameo. Yeah.
What was the Grumpier Old Men? She was a love interest in Grumpier Old Men. Gosh, she was she fell in love with Walter Matthau in that movie, for crying out loud. And I think he was quite a bit older than her still. Not the prettiest kiss. All right, I got a basketball game tonight. Any final thoughts on this one? I expect Arkansas to play really,
it's gonna
really
be
well
a war.
in this game.
It's going to be a battlefield. If we after beating them at our home court, if we hesitate at all, or if we have one of these 6-minute scoring droughts, it could get ugly. We're going to have to be ready to play the entire 40 minutes.
I expect Arkansas to take care of the ball better, not have a dozen turnovers from the backcourt. Hopefully, they're able to keep them off the glass. I'm interested to see. Like we've talked about quite a bit, Nick Smith defending. I think we focus so often on his ability to score and shoot from the outside. Arkansas needs better rebounding against A&M this time around. They need guards to hold onto the ball.
And his defending, and we had a caller too, Phil, that called in and praised his defending. And yes, that's fine. I'm not worried about his on-ball defending. I'm worried about his help defense, his help side. Is he in the right positions to play team defense? Because talent-wise, he's just as talented as anybody. So on the defensive side, how quick is he glued into our team concept of defense is what I'm worried about.
Well, and we know what we'll be talking about tomorrow once we get to halftime, and I plan on being in studio with you guys, so clean that place up.
Woohoo!
Got a 6 o'clock women's game tomorrow, so we're going to start the travels a little bit early, which means we get to view each other in our lovely faces inside the studio.
And I paid my taco bet with Phil, Matty T. I know I still owe you one, but you were out of town now.
Well, hold on a minute. It was enchiladas. It wasn't tacos.
Yeah,
so
you'll get the soup. The
more.
soup was the meal.
Stay tuned for Ruskin and Zach. They'll take you up until 7 o'clock. And for Matt Jones, for Matt Travis, I'm Phil. Get up, get out, and get better.
Love is in the air at Crane Used Car Supercenter of Fort Smith, and dealer-operator Joe Pulliam